Hello, and welcome to the Graveyard Media Podcast for the week of March 12th, 2018. Uh, episode 33. So,
Yay!
yay! So, we're going to start off by talking about the games and movies we've checked out this week, and then head into movie and gaming news. Who wants to start this week?
I can start, but I don't really have, anything. I did, one thing this week that wasn't the Yume Nikki video. I
Perfect.
saw Paddington 2. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch any more of The Breadwinner. But that's okay.
What do you mean, did you not finish it?
Yeah, I talked about it last week, how I didn't finish The Breadwinner, and then I was like, I'm gonna finish The Breadwinner, and then I worked on the Yume Nikki video until I died. So, I did watch Paddington 2, though.
Are you alive now?
Yeah, I got better.
Okay.
Paddington 2 was wonderful. I think it still has like a 100% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. So needless to say, it piqued my interest. I saw the first one and was surprised by it. It was like this little very, very nice thing, the first one was, that just came out of nowhere and was well made. The plot was really, really, really sort of, kid movie cliche, but that was okay, that's fine. And this sort of drops that whole cliche thing and elevates the plot a little bit and still has that really, really happy, joyful sort of deal going on with it. It's nice. And one thing that I was really surprised with was visually the movie is wonderful. It looks like a fucking Wes Anderson movie. It's gorgeous. There's a ton of even there's little set pieces. There's this balloon made of prison laundry that's really nice, that is the big thing in one of the set pieces. There's this whole train that's shot wonderfully. There's the entire prison, which was dyed pink on accident by Paddington, and it gives it this this good visual thing that goes along with a really good cheery happiness that this movie sort of exudes.
What you're saying is it was good.
I mean, basically, yes. Of course, I mean, yes, that's what I said in the first, but...
No, I just said that because you've said good 8 times in the last minute. So
fair enough. I kind of have, and I'm a little tired, but that's
Good
okay.
is a buzzword.
Anyway.
Are you
Good
still
is a buzzword.
readjusting from daylight savings?
No, I'm still readjusting for being up super early, working on the Yume Nikki video.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it out in time though. I see it up there. I didn't watch it yet, but
damn right I got it out on time.
We need to come out an hour ago, and it's already got 5 comments. Hell yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Paddington 2 was great. If you want a movie that is the opposite of a movie that'll make you feel like shit, go watch Paddington. It's
no, I want to feel like shit. Damn it.
Well, I mean, there's a heck of a
Yourself,
lot of movies you can watch if you want to do that. Saine Grey, New York is my favorite one. If I just want to feel like I want to kill myself, it's great.
Speaking of want to kill yourself,
Hmm?
I saw A Wrinkle in Time.
There was a Nintendo Direct.
Oh boy, that bad. That bad, huh?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it. I'll talk about it.
Pretty bad.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let me just update the thing here. So, A Wrinkle in Time was not good.
Oh, well,
First of all, I'll just get that out of the way. Not very good.
yeah.
So, okay. It's almost sad that it's not good though, because I think that sort of the message of the movie and the visuals in the movie all look really cool, and the message is good and whatever.
Yeah.
But the dialogue is so bad. The dialogue is written really poorly. And I think that it's a writing issue, not a acting issue, but the acting also doesn't help.
Right.
Granted, they're child actors, so you can kind of give them a little bit, but
Right.
Yeah, but
it is a major Disney movie. I don't know, it just feels like the writing really let it down.
Yeah. Well, the question is, with this, whether or not, the reason that the writing was bad was was it bad scripting or was the source material just bad? Because I know this is
Yeah.
based on like a super famous book that I know fucking nothing about.
Yeah, okay, so I never read the book,
Mhm.
but I know a tiny bit about it. I don't
Mhm.
remember whether or not like the dialogue is written well or whatever, but I feel like even if you're transitioning a book into a film, you should look at the dialogue regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Even if the dialogue felt stilted and clunky in the book, it probably wouldn't have been as obvious in the book.
Yeah. Because like when you have
Yeah.
people actually saying these fucking words, I mean like you can go into a goddamn book and if you ain't looking for that shit, you can pass it up. There's a lot of fucking books that get like huge public praise, like fucking the
Yeah.
Twilight books and stuff that have like
And
kind of
Harry
stilted
Potter.
dialogue, but yeah,
But when
have,
it's
like,
well, I don't know. Harry Potter was okay, and I think they
I know,
did
I was-
update. I think they did update a lot of the dialogue too.
I
But
was
it's
just
like
trying to
things
find
you
the most popular book I could.
yeah, things you can get away with in a book, you just can't get away with in a movie.
yeah,
Same way because you're like watching it, you know.
yeah.
And
It's like immediately obvious if something sounds weird or clunky.
right,
Well, yeah, and not only that, but like the pacing between like sentences in like a book is completely different from the pacing between like sentences in a movie. Because someone might say this, and then the other character will immediately reply with this, when there might be a whole fucking paragraph about some bullshit and why they replied to it when in the book.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I just want to interrupt for a second to point out. Saine, I know that's a Nirvana shirt that you're wearing, but the way that the webcam
Nerva.
cuts it off,
Yeah.
Nerva. Oh, okay. So not even Nirvana.
yeah, Nirvana is down here.
Oh, Nirvana. Well, anyway, the way that the webcam cuts it cuts off the R just so it looks like it says Nvidia.
Nvidia. Okay, I see it. Yeah,
Oh, good.
that's funny.
My favorite 90s
I was like, is Saine
grunge
wearing a
band.
fucking Nvidia t-shirt? Like, what the fuck?
Dude,
Are we
I'd wear an
sponsored now?
Nvidia T-shirt for some sponsorship. That sounds awesome.
Hey, yo, guys, hit me up. I'll just make sure it's black, yo. I'll wear it.
Fucking Thel isn't wearing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a wrinkle. Another thing that they did to the movie, and this is something. So like I said, I never read the book, but I've always been kind of aware of the book.
Yeah.
Something I didn't know about it was it had very overt Christian themes in it.
Huh.
To the extent that they have a quoted Bible verse in it, they talk about Jesus in parts. They pulled all of that out of the movie. Almost to its detriment, because like I think
Hey, that
I
would've
kind of
made it
roll
more
my eyes when
interesting.
stuff like that happens, but in the movie, it was just kind of like a general evil versus general light, and since it was less overt in what it was talking about, it just came as like muddled and confusing.
Weird.
Maybe they didn't want to put it up against the real great Jesus movie coming out this year, God's Not Dead 3: A Light in the Darkness. I'm incredibly excited with that. I watch all of the God's Not Dead movies with Appleton, and we love the first one, and this one's shaping up to be.
Now, when you say
Like-
you love it, I've never even heard of this movie. When you say you love
You
it, do you mean
haven't?
no?
Really?
Never
You
heard
mean
of
love it or love to hate it?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you mean love it,
well,
or do
here's
you
the
mean it's
thing.
bad?
The first God's Not Dead movie got a lot of shit when it came out about being a very like sort of laxly researched movie that directly preaches its message. And the way people talk about that makes me think that they only saw the second one, because the first one is so much worse. It has so much more that's wrong going on with it that makes it so much more fun to watch.
I see.
There are like 15 different completely unconnected plot points that take up exactly as much, if not more, and I don't mean like all of the plot points combined. I mean like one
Some
plot
of the-
point.
So almost
you
like
know.
so like a worse version of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Not even that. Like
Well, go with the dragon.
it's almost like an
movie.
anthology thing, but it doesn't want to be.
I know. I said it was a bad version of the girl with dragon tattoo because the girl with the dragon tattoo is notable for having really long subplots that
Yeah,
almost longer than the main
fair
plot.
enough,
But
but yeah. The difference with the girl with the dragon tattoo is all of the plots intersected. Like, two of the plots intersect in God's Not Dead.
Maybe.
Also, the ending caught both me and Appledan off guard to the point where we were both screaming for like 2 minutes. Completely taken off guard. I am going to do something on our YouTube channel about these movies. I
look
don't
forward to
know
it.
what yet, but God's Not Dead. It was just it's beautiful trash. I loved it. I thought it was so bad. I recommend that movie to everyone. Second one is what everyone talked about. The first one was kind of
Just like lousy in general, not like
just
not
like lousy in general.
underwatched
It said,
or-
here's part of my problem with my lighting. It was just like it was the movie that everyone thought it's like, okay, we're going to preach this message and it's going to be a court case about this message. And that's it. And it's like, yeah, all right, they don't have like a bunch of branching plots, and it's like one very single plot that says their message, but I don't give a fuck. That's not what I'm here for. Where's the fucking garbage? Give me the fucking trash.
So anyway, that's A Wrinkle in
movie-
Time.
Yeah, that's A Wrinkle in Time.
Also, Oprah was in it.
What?
She's been going
Oprah was
crazy
a
about
character
this
in it.
movie, Yeah.
Did she
I don't
play
know why
Guinan?
she's. No, she plays like a. I don't even know what they call them in the movie. In the book, they're angels.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember what they call them. I don't know. I think her name was like Mrs. What's it or what? Some preposition. I don't know.
No, yeah, an angel. That sounds like Guinan. Oprah Winfrey reprising her role as Guinan from the Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Anyway,
Hey, yo, don't do my girl Whoopi like this. Don't fucking do my girl Whoopi like this.
Who?
I like Whoopi Goldberg better than Oprah.
Yeah,
personally.
wrestler?
exactly.
Mrs. Oprah.
The wrestler?
No, what?
Goldberg?
Okay, you know what? That's enough of that.
All
We're
right,
moving on.
he's shutting me
A
down.
Wrinkle in Time. 2 stars. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. It's trash.
It's not.
That's a-
It's not as bad as Suburbicon or whatever I saw.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking other one.
Whatever
was.
that movie was.
That was.
That was
Yeah, okay.
that was like the worst movie I'd seen in a long time.
Wow.
So Suburbicon was a 1. This one was a 2.
Okay.
Uh,
You did it. You did it. You
they
beat
did it. They made an
Suburbicon,
awful-
The fucking worst movie ever made.
Okay. So why don't you talk about Path of Exile? Is there?
Oh yeah, me and Dalsson. I played some of that. Well, Dalsson, let's talk about Path of Exile.
There's some damn new cool ass shit in Path of Exile. Let me tell you what. Thel hasn't gotten any of the cool shit because he sucks, but I did.
Okay.
One
Okay.
of the big like new content things is gear that is called it's a type of gear called either Shaper or Elder gear, right? And basically it has this this starry background. It's normal rare gear. It's not unique stuff. It's normal rare gear, but it has this starry background on it, so it looks cool in your inventory. And it can roll unique mods, like stuff that you would not find in normal rare gear. It's stuff that's more suited to like unique gear, but it's random mods.
Sounds
So
kinda fun.
yeah, and what you could do is you can use an Orb of Scouring, which will remove all of the mods from it and turn into a white piece of gear, but it keeps that Shaper quality. So when you re-roll it, it has a chance of rolling those unique mods that you can't get on other pieces of gear. And they're really good stuff. Like some of them will just straight up grant you new skills without having to have a skill gem. Some of them will increase, like they'll do unique things, like on boots you have complete immunity to ground effects, like burning ground that will hurt you or shocked ground that'll make you take new damage. You can roll an immunity to one of those. So that's some really cool new shit, right? And then Thel and I played a little bit of the Bestiary League, but I'm gonna let Thel take the reins on that one because I don't even fucking know where to start.
The Bestiary League is neat. It basically it makes, especially like the beginning of the game, which me and Dalsson have played through 15 quintillion times, actually really, really fun and interesting. What the Bestiary League is it's basically Pokemon and Path of Exile. Go in, there are specific types of creatures that you can capture.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
It's not like you make them fight or anything.
Oh yeah.
So,
it's
are these enemies that are like normal beast type
Yes.
enemies.
Yes.
from
They
Path of
are
Exile?
normal enemies. Anything that is considered an animal. So like you can't capture skeletons or bandits or anything like that, but like
Unfortunately, but
those crabs or the fiery dogs or the things that'll run at you, anything that basically looks like it might be considered an animal.
What
you
about the
can
Goatmen?
capture. We haven't gotten to the goatmen
I want
yet.
I want to know.
I think you can capture the goatman.
I'm hoping.
I might come back to
We
Path
have-
of
we have-
Exile
yeah,
just to have a
unfortunately,
Goatman.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten like
Um,
that far
Jumping
even
goat
in.
man.
That's like in the first act.
Now, but what you do with them? Hold on. Now it's a
Yeah.
little misleading when Thel says it's Pokemon. What you do with them is not make them like have them fight with you or anything. What you do with them is you keep them in this menagerie. You basically have like a zoo of your captured things, and then you can take those captured things and sacrifice them to an altar of blood for unique crafting recipes.
Yeah.
So like the first recipe we got was a recipe for rare boots that are guaranteed to have 20% bonus movement speed.
Oh, they don't even follow you or anything?
No, they don't
No.
follow you or
Damn.
anything. It's
Guess
yeah,
I'll
it's
have
much
to
less
buy a
interesting.
premium cash shop pet.
Yeah, right.
Do they have a Goatman in the cash shop?
I don't
No,
know.
They have like a fox. It's literally on fire.
I want a little Goatman
They
to follow me.
have a
That's what I want.
firefox.
I know that they have one of the pets that they added recently for the cash shop is a whirling blade pet, which is one of the traps that can spawn.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, so if you get that trap to spawn and then you have that pet following you, you're like, oh fuck, wait, where am I? Shit. Is that my pet or is that the right? It's pretty silly.
Is this a
But
good
yeah.
time to jump back into Path of Exile?
I would say now is a good time to jump back into
Yeah.
Path of Exile. If you haven't played it even if you haven't played it, like Thel and I gave it up for a couple months.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't been playing for a few months, like it definitely there's like so much new content you're not even going to like believe it. If the last time you played like Thel and I, the last time you played was when they updated all of the new acts and removed the difficulty settings, just added 6 new acts. That's also like there's
Fair.
also new content beyond that.
Yeah.
If you went through that content, there's still more content to experience that
Yeah.
they've added. Like they completely reworked the maps system for the 5th or 6th time. Yeah. So even going back in with just like a high level character and running some new stuff, you know, there's still more stuff to experience for you.
And
I
like,
feel like there always will be because they're really good at updating.
Yeah. And
in-game
like with the previous league, the Breach League, which is basically just it makes the hole in the ground and enemies pop out, which is really
Abyss.
similar.
Abyss League.
Abyss?
That's what it was
That's
called.
what it's called? Oh yeah, Breach
Breach
was
is
the other
the
one that was a hole in the ground that makes enemies pop out that I was going to mention. It's like they've had a couple of those.
Yeah, I wish
but
they. Oh, go ahead.
But the new Bestiary League is really interesting and really fun and really cool to play around with.
Mhm.
Like I was really like I don't care about the I don't give a crap. But Bestiary is fun. Bestiary is cool and it adds new stuff that you can be interested in and play with.
Yeah. So
I'm-
new league, new content in the base game, you know,
Yeah.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
I wish they would add or make more of like Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance style, like dungeon crawling games or like Champions of Norath. If you ever played that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's why I'm kind of excited for Diablo on Switch because that's kind of what that game turned into on consoles.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking that because I was thinking about the prospect of Path of Exile being on a console and how that would probably never happen. But
No, it's on Xbox.
is it on Xbox?
Yeah.
It came out on Xbox.
Weird.
Are you sure it's on Xbox? It sounds more like it would be on PlayStation. They
I'm
were really
pretty sure it's
pushing
on
free to play
Xbox.
game when they.
I know Warframe's on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on
It's
Xbox.
on
It's on Xbox.
Alright.
Let's see. It is not on PlayStation, but it is on Xbox.
Weird.
Interesting.
Oh, Xbox got it as an exclusive.
Oh, okay.
They made a deal or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Exclusive to Xbox One. And also PC, but just don't tell anyone.
Naturally, we don't have. I don't have Steam running, so I don't know what else I played.
I know what else you played. I think that the next thing you should talk about is Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh boy. Okay, now I have a theory about Final Fantasy. Not a theory. Just an important note on Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is great.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 15, for the record.
That's a good theory.
It's great because, yes. Now, the first thing that I love about it, but not the most important thing. First thing that I love about it is that it has a totally different combat system from any other Final Fantasy. This is, I believe, is one of the first Final Fantasy, if you're not counting the MMO, that does not have a turn-based combat system.
Well, mainline Final Fantasy, because there's been a bunch that have.
Yeah, forget Crystal Chronicles. Nobody cares about that
there's
shit.
also been Dirge of Cerberus. There's been all those fighting games. The Dissidia series. There's been called I forget. But yeah, there's been a few.
Okay, well, it's the first mainline one.
Yeah.
If you're not counting the MMO, which is technically a mainline Final Fantasy.
Did you put candy in your mouth right before talking?
Yeah, it was a mistake. So
He's regretting it currently as he chokes.
but what I like about it is that it has basically it's basically a new way to play. You know, you've got your 4 party members and they'll all fight for you. You have certain upgrades that'll let you take over their like take over and fight as them. Your main character can use like any fucking weapon, and all of the weapons have totally different play styles. Like, so there's a great sword that, you know, super fast attacks, or you can have guns and just shoot people. It's a bunch of fun stuff. But that's not the thing I like the most about it. You know, we're gonna move from low to high. What is better than the combat system is the fact that the whole game is just a big road trip, and you are in the ballinest ass car I've ever fucking seen. I think I'm gonna save up all of my Twitch and YouTube money that I ever get and try and buy a copy of that car. It'll take me years, but that's what I'm gonna do. I ain't even gonna drive it. I'm just gonna have it.
So you've put about 10 hours into it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I've only put like 3 hours into it, so I really can't talk about it much yet.
Yeah, the game doesn't really open up.
I got past the prologue. I got past the prologue, so it's starting to open up a little bit. Like, it's giving me like new hunting side missions, and like there's stuff to do now at the point that I'm at. But
right. Now there's one point where you basically go and destroy a blockade, and that allows you to get to like basically the rest of the world.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. How do you like the combat system?
I actually really like it. I like it a lot. Now, it feels really simple at first, and it kind of is, but it just gives me that satisfying feeling of, like, you know, I'm hitting dudes with a big sword, and I have to skillfully dodge big attacks or parry them. It gives me that feeling. It's obviously not, it's not as in-depth or skill-based as Dark Souls or anything, but it...
You know what's kind of weird to me?
It clicks that part of my brain. What's that?
I kind of don't like how slow and sticky it is.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like once you start an attack animation on an enemy, you're kind of stuck in that animation on that enemy, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, a lot of this is because I'm mainly using the great sword because it feels the best, but it attacks kind of slow.
Right. Each enemy is weak to different types of weapons, so I always just keep 4 different types of weapons on my bar.
Well, I haven't gotten to the point where I can buy any new weapons yet, so.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that'll change a little bit as I get new weapons, but so far I'm not really feeling it, and it feels weird compared to, even Kingdom Hearts, which is another Square Enix game, where the action combat in that game feels really, like, smooth from what I remember.
Right.
And kind of fast, but maybe more floaty a little bit, but in a good way, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think it might just be because you're using the great sword a lot. Like, if you use the normal one-handed sword, your attacks don't stick, like, hardly at all.
No, it does, though. Actually, that's where I noticed it more, because the
Really?
great sword kind of just attacks where it attacks, but the like once you're starting an animation for the short sword swing, you're kind of like in it until it almost kind of follows the person a little bit. And even worse with the spear, polearm.
Yeah, the spear is really bad about it. Do you mash the button or do you hold it down?
Oh, you can hold it down.
Yeah, holding it down, mashing it will just attack over and over again. Holding it down will start an attack chain.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I
maybe you
didn't
should
know
give
that.
that a shot next time because you can let go of that attack chain and it'll just end on the end of your next attack. Whereas if you're mashing it, it'll like queue up the button presses.
Right. Huh.
So maybe you
Well,
should give that a shot.
yeah, I'll have to try that out. Have you gotten any performance?
A little bit.
Performance issues?
It's really strange. When I think the game might load to your RAM or like load a lot of stuff to your RAM because the first time I launched the game, anytime that I start up my computer, it is like insanely laggy. Like it'll take maybe 10 minutes to load and then after the load it will be like running at like maybe 2 to 3 frames per second. And it is like extraordinarily bad. I have to kill it with Task Manager and then load it up again. Then the second time I launch the game, I never have that issue, but it's very consistent.
So the reason I ask is because this actually has de nouveau on it.
Really?
Yeah.
That it.
And it's actually kind of notable because it was cracked before the game came out.
Wow.
Because they released a demo
Jesus.
and they
Oh,
cracked
yeah.
they cracked de nouveau on the demo, and then when the game came out, it was cracked. So
Yeah, it surprises me
Jesus.
0% at all.
Mhm.
I don't know why they would think that would not happen. I
yeah.
don't know how they didn't see this coming.
So
I did.
I think sometimes de nouveau it hits lower end CPUs harder than the newer ones. And you do
Yeah.
have kind of an older CPU, so maybe
Yeah, I have
maybe
a
that's
lousy
part of it.
CPU. I have a decent graphics card. So
Right.
anything that loads the GPU is fine, but the
I haven't
CPU is not.
had any performance issues, but I have a really good system, so I was just curious how it was running on your system. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
I would like to present one last theory about Final Fantasy and how they made the perfect team of boys.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Now listen. Okay,
Prompto's
so we have.
clearly the best, though.
I agree. Prompto is clearly the best. Yes, he loves chocobos. Have you gotten to his chocobo obsession yet? I
No.
need to know. No, God, he
I'm
loves chocobos so much.
So I spent like an hour fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly by choice, but you know how it
There's
goes.
Yeah.
I had
there's
to
a point-
actually learn how to do it so I could complete that quest. This is essentially what was going on.
There's a point. So each of the boys. Let me describe our good boys we've got on our road
Okay.
trip here. We have Noctis, right? He is the main character. He's the character you control. He's the son of the king. This and that and the other thing, and he has his posse of friends. You know, like you do.
Oh, can I just stop you 1 second?
Yeah, go on.
So, I was playing on the Steam Link in the living room.
Yeah.
And my mom was over, and she looked at Noctis and was like, "Hey, that character looks like the haircut that you had in high school."
Wow. Just the whole character, huh?
Well, Noctis's haircut actually does look very similar to what my hair looked like in high school.
That's
Well, all right.
funny.
And I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot."
Well, let me describe Noctis a little bit.
I wasn't quite as emo though.
Really?
I wasn't quite as
Sorry,
emo as Noctis in high school. No,
okay,
I
fair
looked emo. I just didn't.
You weren't
emo?
more like you weren't like
I'm
Noctis, yeah. But to
I'm
be
gonna hit
fair,
you guys up
Noctis
with a
has some
hot-
good
oh.
reasons to be sad, I would say.
He's a Final Fantasy character.
Well, yes, that's a big reason. But Noctis's full name is Noctis Lucis Calum. Now that is Latin for darkness, light, heaven, which is just the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my
That is
entire
kind
goddamn
of
life.
bad.
I mean, Final Fantasy.
Do they all?
game.
Do they all have Latin names?
I do not believe so.
Because Ignis sounds
is
like,
about is fire.
And then
It's something relating to fire.
Prompto sounds also like it could be.
I don't know. Let me. You know what? I'm just gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Prompta. No, all you get when you search for Prompto or Gladiolus is Final Fantasy stuff. Noctis is a real word.
Hmm.
But God, I still have yet to get to my theory here. So Noctis, right? He's good at fishing. He's the main character. You know, he can use anything. He's the son of the king. He's a little bit of Mary Sue, but that's just what you get with Final Fantasy. Now if you look at him physically, his looks, he constitutes one of 4 quintessential types of boys. He is the pretty boy, right? Okay, that makes sense.
I see where you're going
You
with
see where
this
I'm going
already.
with this.
One sec
okay?
though.
Yeah.
I did
Yes?
find a translation of all their names. They
Yeah.
do all mean stuff.
Oh Jesus. Okay, hang on. Go ahead. Why don't you? I've already described Noctis, so why don't you go with the flow while I'm describing the types of boys they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, next we have Ignis. Ignis, I'm not really sure what he is. He's one of our friends. He's more of the responsible type of character.
He's
And,
the cook too.
Yeah. He cooks for everybody. He also
straight
drives
man.
the car. He's the straight man, yes. But he still has his little quirks. Like a lot of the things he says are puns. Now,
I'm sorry, what I thought you were going to say, but he is very gay.
well, I
Well,
mean,
that could
they're
be
all-
any of
this
them.
Is,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is what
yeah.
I'm getting at here, okay? Now, just bear with me, all right? So he drives
Yeah,
the
yeah.
car. He cooks.
It's funny
know,
because Prompto seems the least gay out of the 4 of them.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
But that's what makes him the most.
Not that
But
being
that's
gay
what
is
makes
bad.
him the
That's not what
most-
we're saying.
No, yeah, we just as a descriptor. So I've lost my train of thought, you fuckers. Ignis.
Mhm.
He's more like caring. He's like the team mom of all 4 of them. He's like, oh, you guys shouldn't fucking do this. That's gonna be bad. And he's always the one to make the plan. Like Ignis will give you a specific type of thing that you have to do in a combat, and that will get you bonus AP. It's presented as that's his plan, and following his plan will win you the fight. But it basically what it's for is a mechanic to get more AP.
So he's the pussy bitch one that doesn't want to have fun.
No, he stabs people.
Okay.
Alright.
His weapon is daggers and
So-
spears.
So his name is Ignis Scientia, which means
Uh-huh.
fire science.
Fire science. Are you kidding me?
His last name is literally Scientia.
Okay, now that one I would have just known. I just didn't know his last name.
Yeah.
Now Ignis, in my theory of the 4 quintessential types of boys, he represents, if you look at him physically, the sexy boy.
Oh, okay.
Not sloth.
What do you mean
There are
sexy boy?
So he's got the glasses, he's got the too cool for you kind of
I think they're.
deal.
I don't.
He's got
I
that-
don't
that
think you can
jacket.
describe any one as the sexy one because they're all sexy in different ways.
Fashionable
Yes,
is what
exactly.
Dalsson
Yeah,
is
like
going for.
the fashionable kind of.
He's
Yeah,
the Bayonetta.
Okay.
He's got the
Okay, you
Bayonetta
should.
of
Yeah,
the group, that type
fashionable
of-
is probably a better descriptor than sexy
Right,
because
but I'm
all
trying
of
to-
them are sexy in their own way.
I'm trying to keep it very, very simple. So we've got like pretty, then sexy, as what I've been saying. So next we'll move on to Gladiolus, right? Now he's the big gruff, strong man.
He's the
and what
Bara
he-
of the group.
He's the Bara of the group.
He's
Yes.
the Bara of this coterie of twinks.
He's also like kind of a responsible type of character. Not quite so much as Ignis, but he's like less responsible, like you shouldn't do that, and more responsible, like no, I'll do that, so that you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
He's that kind of person, and his skills are survival. Basically, all that means is that he can like forage for new stuff and stuff. Now,
He likes to camp.
yeah, he likes to camp. He's got that big open jacket, and he's the only one with the 6-pack and the big muscles. He uses big swords and shields.
Yeah, it's funny because when you first use the great sword around him, he's like,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, you shouldn't use the great sword. That leaves you vulnerable." While he's using the great
Yeah,
sword.
while he's using a great sword. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
It'll leave you vulnerable.
Now this why don't you tell us what his name means?
Okay, Gladiolus Amicidia, which means sword friendship.
Just hitting the fucking home run, Square Enix. You guys are great at this.
Yeah, he has the cheesiest one. Out of all of them, his is the cheesiest.
Yeah, Gladiolus I should have known. That just
It sounds like a gladius, which is the name.
I don't know. Fire science, though.
Fire science.
Yeah.
Now okay, now Gladiolus here, his quintessential boy type is the hot boy.
Oh,
this
you
is
mean
the
Prompto?
type of boy. No, Gladiolus. I didn't tell you what the type of boy he is. He is the hot boy. He's the type of boy you would see on the front of a steamy middle-aged woman romance
you know what?
novel. Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah, go.
You can't just use synonyms for the same word to describe them. There's
Yes,
no difference between
No,
hot
no,
and
no, I
sexy.
see exactly where he is
There is-
going with this, and
They have
I
different-
completely agree that he should.
They
No, there
have
are
different
different-
connotations.
They do not.
They
Sexy,
in
sexy
this
and hot
specific-
are the same thing.
You are thinking too outside of the box. You have to think in. We ain't talking like dictionary. We talking like People magazine, right? They got
Yeah.
different fucking meanings for each of these goddamn words. They're
No,
all
but-
bullshit, yes, but
No, but
thing
hot
is-
isn't any more applicable to him than it is to Prompto.
Yeah, yes, it is.
It
He's
is
got
not.
the six-pack. He's got the abs. He's got the
yeah. Again,
You know, he's the type
one
of
them
boy
is
you would
sexy
find on the
and one of
front.
them is hot. These are two different words
This
in the
is-
world
this
of
is-
People
this is-
I
magazine.
don't
We're
know.
We're talking
terminology.
fucking teenage bullshit here, my man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
exactly.
man.
These are the types of things you would find in like a magazine. Now,
Yeah.
but in any case, let me move on to Prompto. Now, Prompto is the best boy.
Well,
Um,
I mean, you know,
His
that-
favorite thing to do is photography. There will be frequent times where you will just be fighting for your lives. A bunch of like dudes have descended down upon you from the heavens and started just shooting at you with guns and shit. And you and Ignis and Gladiolus are fighting for your life, and Prompto will be over there, like leaning up against one of the enemies with a selfie camera, just like taking pictures.
The
He's
first
the
thing I
fun
did
having
was
Archie.
I upgraded his camera use to the max
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
I
great.
want you to take pictures constantly.
And then every time you rest, you will actually have those pictures that he takes automatically available to save to your hard drive. So it's really cool, and he takes good pictures. He's great at photography. He also has an insatiable love of chocobos. At one point, these two things cross over. A guy is for a quest. He's like, "Hey, there's this chocobo that I've been worried about. I want you guys to go take a picture of it." And Prompto's like, "Yee!" And he's the best. Now, please tell us what his name means. 'Cause
So
I
his
don't-
name is Prompto Argentium, which means Quicksilver.
Okay.
Quicksilver as literally Quicksilver rather than Mercury, which is a different.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, he also uses guns. He's the shooty boy. He shoots with guns and he shoots with a camera, and it's all great. Now Prompto. Now I don't think you're gonna argue with me on this one, Saine. Prompto, in the 4 quintessential types of boys, he is the cute boy. He has those qualities. He's much more
I don't know.
childish. He
I
has a
wouldn't
rounder
describe him as cute personally. He is the beashiest boy.
the what?
He is the most
Yeah.
Bishonen of the group.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
See, I go into like Bishonen, Bara. I don't even know what Ignis. Ignis is. I guess fashionable still makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
He's just like the yaoi wet dream.
And
Yeah,
then
Ignis
Noctis
is
is
like
the
yaoi.
and Noctis is just the emo boy.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Final Fantasy boy.
The Final Fantasy boy.
No,
Exactly.
because
yes, that
he's
makes-
more emo than most Final Fantasy characters, I would say. Even
Right.
compared to like, if you compare him to like Cloud, or Squall, like.
Watch yourself there.
If you
You are
compare
talking about the
yourself-
people who created the fucking subculture in the start.
No, all
Hey,
I'm
hold
saying
on.
is he's just more emo. Like,
You're saying that Noctis is more emo than Leon?
yeah. Well,
I don't know
I don't
about-
know how he is personality wise, but at least in look.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Because
all-
like I
they
said,
all
I've never
dress in,
played
like,
a
total
I've never
black and-
played a Final Fantasy game, and my exposure to both Cloud and Squall is from Kingdom Hearts. So
Right. Fair enough. Which reminds me, do you think we're gonna have these four in Kingdom Hearts 3? Or do you think it was in development too early?
I would highly
could
doubt them
definitely
not
see.
having a cameo of
Yeah.
them. Like
Right.
I would be surprised if they weren't in it to some extent.
Yeah,
They're
like,
probably
even-
not plot heavy characters, but they're probably there. You know what I mean?
Right. Like even Yuna in Kingdom Hearts 2, Yuna, Riku, and Pain from Final Fantasy X-2 appeared as like little pixies or something. So
Yeah, anything. If you think about it, like this game recently came out on PC, but it's been out for more than a year on console.
that's true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be hard for them to just drop their models into Kingdom Hearts somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't expect them to be like big characters, but they'll probably be standing around somewhere talking about something.
Right. See, I like all of the characters in this game. Like this is the first game where I've really, and I think it's the presentation. I played Final Fantasy X, I played Final Fantasy 7 and 8, you know. And this first one, like before you had to kind of go out of your way to talk to your friends and stuff and develop a relationship with them. But in this one, what I think I like the most about it is during anything, while you're like walking around the open world, they're following you, and like, you know, there'll just be little tiny things like Noctis is like, oh, it's so hot, and Gladiolus will just be like, well, then lose the jacket. You know, they have like just little friendly banters and stuff, and you really get to know the characters as though you're like, you know, you make friends with the characters as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Noctis is like the least compelling character, and that's because he's the main character, so you have to I guess they have to leave him a little less. I don't know.
I don't think that's what it is. I think they're just going for like a kind of a quiet type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like it's not. I think that it if you look at other Final Fantasy games, the other characters are a little bit more active when they're talking and stuff, I think.
That's true. Yeah.
I think
Like
that it's
Tidus in
just
Final
that
Fantasy
they're
X
going
is-
for a specific. I think they're just going for a specific quality to him
Mhm.
that is different from other ones that they've done, but still more similar to like other games. That it just
Yeah.
might come off as that way, but I don't think that's what the intention was.
Right. See, it's like in Final Fantasy X, that's the one that I've had the most exposure to, right? In Final Fantasy X, I can very easily and clearly pick out my favorite character from that game. My favorite character is Wakka, and it's because he has just such this cool attitude, and he's boisterous, but he has more depth to his character than that once you like get to know him and through like the cutscenes and stuff. But in this one, it's like I love Gladiolus. I love Prompto. I love Ignis. Noctis, I'm not so hot on, but you know, I'm in control of him, so I feel less like I'm getting to know him and more like I'm learning more about who I am, you know. So
I kind of
But-
like I kind of like Noctis. I don't really like Ignis yet, but
mhm,
he just doesn't. I don't know. He's kind of reserved and cold,
yeah.
so I just don't think I've spent enough time interacting with him yet. But yeah, I don't know. Like if I were to rank him, Noctis probably be my second favorite so far.
Mhm. Yeah. See,
But
I
maybe
like
it's just because I have a kindred emo spirit with him.
I have a kindred Bara spirit with Gladiolus. I'm not a
Fair.
Bara man myself, but
But you'd like to be one.
You strive to be.
but in every way except for physical, I am Gladiolus.
You know what? I'm gonna bust
Um,
out because we're on the topic, and I meant to bust this out a little bit earlier, but I got a pretty hot take on this. Emo is just fucking goth light without any of the any of the commitment.
I think that it was just
Drink it up, bitch.
well, I was probably more similar to goth. I just had an emo haircut,
Oh, okay, fair enough.
and I dressed kind of goth, but I just had an emo haircut because
You know what?
cool.
I have a new theory. I've developed a new theory here. Okay, now they're
Okay.
all
You
different
didn't,
types.
you didn't finish with the first theory.
I
though.
did. I finished
you
up on Prompto. He was the cute boy. Now
Well, yeah,
they're
no,
all
but
different.
this was leading up to something.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
I was just saying that they have the
Oh.
4 quintessential.
Well, where I
types
thought you were going with, they are the perfect boy band,
You know what?
engineered by Square Enix in a lab to play better than NSYNC.
You know
Mhm.
what? I think I take back what I said. I think Prompto should be the twink boy, and Ignis should be the Bishonen boy.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
it.
more like it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry, I'm upset now. You just you took us on that journey, and there was like no destination.
There was no payoff. That's
No,
how I
there-
felt
you're
about
just
A
like,
Wrinkle
they're
in
the
Time. It was a
dream
lot
boy.
of bullshit for nothing.
I'm sitting here like, oh, here we go. Now he's gonna explain. It's like you didn't get to the end of the theory. Oh no, that was
My
That
theory
was
was
it. There was
that
just the perfect boys.
my theory was that they read one issue of a girl teen magazine and designed the characters based on that. That was like the high point of the theory, but here's my new theory.
okay.
They're all varying levels of goth.
Yeah.
Varying degrees of goth.
I don't
It
think
was
Prompto is goth at
early
all.
2000s.
No, Prompto is the prep goth. He's real happy and spicy and stuff, but he hangs out with all these other goth kids, so he wants to dress like them and be
Okay,
cool.
look, I think none of them are goth except for Noctis.
Right, but but
And
Gladioli,
and Noctis isn't even goth. He's emo. Like
Gladioli, right? Noctis is the goth type, is the emo type goth. Gladiolus has that heavy metal type of goth type thing going on, and Ignis is just in the goth scene for the fashion because he thinks it looks nice.
I totally disagree. Because Gladiolus looks more like a biker than a goth. First of all,
Okay, that's fair.
if anyone's prep, it's Ignis. And Prompto is like the least goth of all of them, so I just don't. I don't know. I don't follow that logic. They all wear black. Just wearing black isn't the minimum entry into goth.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I guess.
I think we've talked way too long about that.
I think we have, but it does kind of like showcase the point. My main point in that all of the characters in Final Fantasy 15 are great, and I think they've done the best job of making compelling characters in a Final Fantasy game ever.
Well,
I think is what I wind up getting at.
Fair enough. Let's move on to I think the last game that we've all played this week, Vermintide 2.
Yeah.
Ooh boy.
Who wants to start on this?
Oh boy.
I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with I like the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we all like the game.
I love the game.
So I don't think any of us played Vermintide 1, but
No.
we all picked up Vermintide 2 in the beta. For those of you who don't know what Vermintide 2 is, it is a game very similar to Left 4 Dead. It's kind of a linear get to the end of the map while trying to survive kind of style.
Against like huge hordes of dude.
Right, and then they have
Mostly
hordes and
rats.
special enemies and bosses.
And a lot of the special enemies are very similar to Left 4 Dead. Like, you have the hunter that pounces on you. You have this thing that'll grab you from a range and pull you in.
I think the only one that's really similar is the hunter. All the rest of them are slightly different. Like, I don't think there's a...
Slightly. But
I
like
don't think there's a good, like, equivalent to the hook rat, for instance.
there is. It's the jockey from Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
He takes control of you and pulls you in a direction.
Yeah.
While dealing
Yeah,
damage.
but you have more control over things if you have on Left 4 Dead. Like, you can't change your direction when you're being hook ratted, but you can
Yeah.
sort of stop the jockey from moving you a little bit.
Right. That's
And then
true.
there's also the smoker and the mind control guy.
Smoke.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't pull you in. Well, does he pull you in? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Definitely
The
pulls you.
leech, he
Yeah.
grabs you and starts pulling you. It's a lot farther than this. Like the difference is the leech grabs you just automatically. The smoker has to hit you with a projectile. So
Yeah.
that's
I don't
kind of
know.
the
Like,
difference.
I don't think they're that close. I think that the closest one is the hunter because he does the exact same thing. The rest of
Yeah.
them are slightly different. So two of the major differences between this and Left 4 Dead, though, there are 5 different characters who do distinctly different things and have a different selection of weapons.
Right.
And the other thing that's pretty significantly different, and that kind of makes this game its own, is it has a really robust loot system with each weapon kind of having its own different playstyle. There are weapons that are similar to each other, but most of them will change up to a decently significant way between how you want to
Right.
go about fighting.
So instead of having just guns at the beginning of a spawn room that you'll grab and select, oh, I want the rifle, I want the shotgun, and I want the AK.
Yeah,
or
the thing
whatever.
about Left 4 Dead was every weapon, most weapons were like straight up upgrades from other weapons,
Mm-hmm.
with very few exceptions.
In this one, you select your weapons before you get into the game, and that determines your play style, basically.
And they have different stats on them, and based on how you do in that mission, well, I don't know, not on how you do, but surviving the mission with everyone alive, and then possibly picking up collectibles through the map will increase your experience gain and your the quality of the loot that gets dropped for you.
Right.
And then
Each
you
character-
open like a loot box that are not paid loot box, just like that's how they deliver random stuff in the game to you.
Right.
Um,
And you can get better loot boxes by collecting said collectibles.
right. I don't think that they have a monetary like a post game monetary
they
strategy.
have no monetary strategy. You just buy it.
Right.
They may come out with DLC, but
If they do something like that, I would expect it to be skins, not.
yeah, because they do have a customization system that I don't think I've seen any skins in the game for, other than buy Vermintide 1 and get these special ones.
Or the collector's edition and also get special ones.
Yeah, so I could see DLC or skin drops.
But there is like a menu with different costume pieces, so I could see them leaning into that harder later.
Yeah.
And I could even see them doing something like kind of akin to Unknown's Battlegrounds, where they have different loot pieces with different loot pieces that you can trade through the market.
Mhm.
Like I could see them doing that as well. I just don't know how popular this game is. It seems like it's healthy enough to have a lot of players, but especially on Twitch, it just doesn't seem that popular. I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, because it's really good. It's like if you want a Left 4 Dead that's set in
Better.
a fantasy setting, and
It's
slightly
just better
harder,
than Left 4
mean,
Dead. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
I mean, it's got more shit going on.
And they
Yeah,
do have
it
guns,
is.
but they're just kind of
okay.
steampunky guns.
Back in the day when Left 4 Dead came out, I was really like, this is the only game I can ever or probably will ever say about this, but I was really into speedrunning Left 4 Dead. Like, I think me and my one friend who I did this consistently with, legit what we would do was we would kill the bots immediately. Like in the spawn room. And then the two of us, because the bots couldn't keep up. We were so fast that the bots couldn't keep up. The two of us would go through the level as fast as we could, and that
Wouldn't
was
they just teleport behind you? Why would you need to kill them?
They don't teleport behind you. They'll get grabbed and shit, and then they just will stay there.
Well, why do you need to kill them though? Because
I think
if they just stay there, then they won't.
They won't come to the spawn room.
Oh, okay.
We'll get stuck in the spawn room, and enemies will.
I gotcha.
So I think our clear time on the entire 4 levels of Mercy Hospital, not counting the loading screens, was like 4 minutes. Like, we were really into doing that, and it's really weird because I hate speedrunning now. But
you hate doing speedruns.
I hate doing speedruns. Yeah. Speedrunning is entertaining to watch when it's not just glitch city.
So I'm looking at the numbers for Vermintide. It seems like it's going up over time. Actually, like I think that it has strong word of mouth because
people.
It has 400,000 owners
right
now. And it's even going up in Twitch based on this chart that I'm looking at on Steam Spy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Peak concurrent yesterday was 73,000.
Okay. Yeah.
That's actually pretty healthy.
Pretty
more so than I expected, actually.
So I guess my point in saying all that about Left 4 Dead was when Left 4 Dead 2 came out, I just basically totally dropped it. By that time, I was bored of Left 4 Dead, basically. I was like, nah, Forget it. I don't really want to play much more Left 4 Dead. I got my fill of Left 4 Dead. I never need to play it again, and I basically never have since. We've tried it a couple times, and I still was bored of it.
I played
And
through all of Left 4 Dead 1 on the Xbox 360 with friends. And then by the time that Left 4 Dead 2 came out, I bought it on PC and on Xbox. Basically never played it on Xbox except with my brother occasionally, and then mostly played it online. But I probably put way more time in Left 4 Dead 2 than 1.
Right. So my point in saying that I basically dropped Left 4 Dead was that Vermintide 2 drew me back in. I really like the Left 4 Dead formula. I think they just didn't iterate on it hard enough, and Vermintide 2 really does. It basically it's almost purely focused on melee combat. You have your guns, but if you run out of ammo, like that's it. You might not find ammo for the rest of the map sometimes. So
Left 4 Dead 2 came out.
You really do have to. When did it come out?
Left 4 Dead 2 came out in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And when did Vermintide 1? Vermintide 1 came out 2015. So there was like a 6 years for them to iterate.
Yeah.
And then this is an iteration on that.
Right. Now I didn't play Vermintide 1, but from some of the things I was hearing about the differences is the loot system is vastly improved. You still get random loot and that was what pissed people off about Vermintide 1, but you can smelt down your loot and craft new stuff. Also, you only get loot for the class you're playing when you open the loot boxes. Each class has a talent tree, and there's about 15 of classes in the game. There's 5 characters, and each one has 3 different specs that they can play as. So there's a lot of stuff to experience. They all level up separately, so if you're really into grinding, you could just grind different classes to play as them differently.
I wonder if you could save the loot boxes and then open them on a different character.
You can.
You can?
Yes.
Interesting.
But the loot boxes are tied to the power of the character that you're playing, not the character that you got them with. So.
Oh, or 100, depending on where you're at.
Right. So, yeah, one of the things people recommend, the chests you get for leveling up, people recommend saving those until later. Once you're maxed out, then open up those. But
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either. It's fun to get new stuff.
How do you like it, though?
I love it. It is like you guys were saying. It is like the just a better version of Left 4 Dead. It does have a lot of the things, but then there are 3 different types of boss things, and then there are multiple bosses at the end of every act, which is really nice. Yeah, there's 6 different types of in Left 4 Dead you had the tank.
Yeah.
That was it.
And then there was another tank that was pinker or something.
Yeah, there was a different version.
But there's multiple of them this time.
Yeah.
And that's great. And again, the combat did switch completely differently from guns to melee, and the melee all sort of felt the same in Left 4 Dead 2. Well, 2 and 1. But
there wasn't melee in 1.
Oh,
that was
that was
something they added in 2.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a pro strat speedrunner, you had a melee weapon in Left 4 Dead 1, and it was your med kit. But
Yeah. All of the weapons feel really different. All of the melee weapons feel really different, and the melee combat does feel really good. It's weighty, and all of your swings connect in that really fun Left 4 Dead way, where you're just taking down a ton of just this huge wave. Yeah.
You were kind of really sour on the melee combat immediately when we started playing it. You were having problems with it. What do you think? First off, what do you think was the actual issue you were having?
The actual issue with the melee combat I was having was I was playing it like Left 4 Dead rather than Mountain Blade.
Okay, now what did you do to solve that? Specifically?
Click less. Or switch to a different melee weapon that let me click more.
I see.
Yeah, I have never played a game with more satisfying first-person combat.
Yeah.
or melee
sure.
combat
Excuse me.
in particular. Like, it's probably most comparable to Chivalry, but still, again, much better
Yeah.
than Chivalry in my opinion. It
Yeah.
feels more like visceral and like that. Maybe that's a bad word just because people throw it around, but it feels like you're in it when you're using the
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
And for most weapons, I get a good feel of how long the range should be. On some weapons, it's a little bit harder. I think that, especially on polearms, the range is much longer than you would think it is,
Right.
and that's kind of confusing. But
Mhm.
um,
Initially.
all the time. Like
Mhm.
the halberd on the one dude, the Arcus in particular, is really hard to judge because it's much longer than it looks.
I see.
And actually, you have to use it in a way, like you have to use it from a specific distance to kind of be effective with it, which is
Ah.
farther than you would think it was. Like
Right.
because most weapons in that game you can be like really close in their face and that's fine. With him, you like it's most effective at a kind of a distance because then you can better control the
Hit them
crowd
with-
in front of you.
Yeah. Plus, you can hit them like theoretically, anyway, lore wise or whatever you want to call it. You hit them with the blade instead of the fucking pole.
Well, right. Or stab them with the end.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, the dismemberment in this game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you don't like gore, don't play this game. But if you do
Oh,
like
yeah.
gore, it has some really satisfying gory things. You cut people in half, you decapitate people, you cut off their arms. Like it's
Mostly rats, but not always.
well, no, there's rats and like I think they call them slaves. They're like chaos slaves or something.
Yeah. Nurglemen.
Specifically, they call them Northmen.
Yeah.
Northmen.
So they've got to be like Jotun or something to that effect. Because
No, I think they are slaves because when they're broken down in the like end thing, it says slaves / Skaven. So I think
Right.
that they are some kind of like chaos mind converted or something.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And
that
I
makes
guess they
sense.
just call them Northmen, but I think that's where they come from, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really love this game. I'm probably going to put a lot more time in it. Last week we talked about how we were going to play a bunch of Divinity again, but then this game came out, so
And then we played
Yeah.
a bunch of it instead.
Yeah. We thought we were gonna.
we
play
totally
Divinity.
haven't played any Divinity, but I'm still pumped to play more. We just haven't.
Oh
So-
yeah, absolutely.
It's just been a weird week for it.
It's hard. I want to play more. Right now I want to play more Vermintide, but I also want to see what I want to progress in Divinity, but I just want to play more Vermintide. It's so fun.
Yeah,
So,
and
I'm
we've been
conflicted.
playing it even more than Thel has because when Thel's been busy, we've just been rolling alts.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Alternate characters, one of 5 characters. Basically, if you have 5 different groups of people to play with, you can play with 5 different groups of people.
Right, and the cool
having
thing
any
is
progress affection.
And the cool thing is, like, characters have individual levels, so you can level up one character with one group of friends and another character with another group of friends, and they kind of are the same. Or they have different levels, so you can kind of do it slightly differently.
Right, exactly.
All right.
It's neat.
Is there anything else we want to say about Vermintide before we go to a break?
Not really.
I
I
think
think we've all pretty much put it down. Vermintide, very
Oh.
very good.
Twitch mode. Vermintide
Oh.
does have a Twitch
Oh, yeah.
mode. Now, I think they could stand to adjust Twitch mode a little bit, but here's what it is. There is a specific Twitch mode, and then in Twitch mode, you have to have your stream active. You can't just link it to Twitch and then not have an active stream. And whoever's the host of the game starts a game in specifically Twitch mode. So you can't do your heroic deeds, you can't do quick play for the extra rewards, but you started in Twitch mode. And then God, it's very often. It's got to be like every minute or so.
It's
It'll
like as
give
soon
you-
as an effect happens, it rolls a new
Yeah.
poll. It's like as
So-
soon as
so
one poll ends, a new
It
poll
gives you
starts.
it gives you a poll for 2 different effects. Now sometimes they're both negative, sometimes they're both positive, but your Twitch chat will vote for either A or B. So like they might have a vote between spawning a bunch of treasure rats that you have to hunt down and kill for loot, or spawning a boss, or they might have a vote to see which one of you will get this free healing potion. So sometimes, you're gonna be doing good no matter what you do. And it's just loads of fun, you know? So now I did not actually we play so late at night that I did not actually have an active chat while we were playing Twitch mode, but it still was fun because it just kind of gave you just a bunch of random spice that happens. Like it'll spawn 4 of the same special unit at a time kind of thing. It's just a ton of fun. I would really recommend if you are a streamer or if you know a streamer to play with them in Twitch mode because it just adds a layer of difficulty and it adds an extra layer of fun.
It's a little too bad you can't turn on Twitch mode in without streaming.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a thing that, like, it seems like adding on a Wheel of Fortune on top of the game already.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have this, like, even if it didn't actually pull anybody, but you were playing in offline mode or something, or not in offline mode, but playing without Twitch up, it still has this, like, kind of fun Wheel of Fortune thing on top of it where you can be doing really horribly and then it doubles down on how bad things are going.
Yeah.
And just, like, I don't know. It adds a lot more craziness to a game that's already pretty crazy.
There is one, the notes that I have on Twitch mode is I believe that they should allow it to be done in quick play and stuff like that, or on your heroic deeds. But the really cool thing about Twitch mode that I think people are overlooking, as of right now, the game hasn't been out for very long, is that it's a 4-player co-op game. If there are 4 different people streaming the game, the events will all be the same, but all 4 of their individual chat rooms can vote on the same event. So say that you're playing with 4 people with 5 viewers apiece, that's 20 people voting on the one event from different chat rooms. And I don't think that other games with a Twitch vote option have that thing. Like we played Streets of Rogue, it has that option, but it doesn't have.
Yeah, I really don't think many games, like stream games, also happen to be super cooperative like this as well.
Yeah, so
this is one of the most cooperative games to come out in a long time.
It kind of encourages people who intend to stream with Twitch mode to collaborate with other Twitch streamers, which is a really cool thing. And I don't know if they intended for that, but it's just neat. It encourages, like collaborations and stuff like that.
Right.
That's the only other thing I wanted to say about Twitch mode.
Well, all right. Are we all good to take a break, or do we need one?
I
think we're good.
Could go to break.
Okay, so
we don't have any news, like hardly any.
No, well, we have a decent amount of gaming news. I think that we're gonna end up talking about the Twitch Direct for a while.
Nintendo.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nintendo Direct. I'm sorry. So why don't we come back at 5:15? That sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you in a few minutes.
All right.
And we're back.
Yay!
Sure are.
Okay, for the last hour or so of the show, we're gonna talk about news. Actually, let's just hop right into. Actually, let's take care of some of this other stuff before we jump into the
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, because I want to talk about that last, I think.
Okay.
Actually, why don't we start off with movie stuff?
Oh, yeah,
Since there's only like one thing.
We've kind of juggled that a little bit. So in movies, South by Southwest is happening. The film festival that tries to pretend that it's as big as Sundance, but probably the most notable thing I can remember from it was that it hosted Sausage Party one year. Speaking of that,
oh great!
The first showing of Ready Player One was received pretty warmly by critics. It was like, yeah, it was pretty good.
Really? I've been very like not sure what to think on this movie. I've been like kind of sort of interested, but I've heard really bad things about the book. So
the problem is that the book is fucking trash, goddamn garbage, as everything wrong with the publishing industry. But anyway, the movie is directed by Steven Spielberg, who hasn't exactly been on a winning streak recently. So here, the thing about this that is news is that the audio and video cut out on the print that they got, which is
That's hilarious.
Yes, okay. Which yes is hilarious. I mean, it's a tragedy that they didn't get to watch the film as it was meant to be, but fuck, it's
That's
hilarious.
just funny.
That's and you know that's about all there is to say. That's all that happened in movies. Fucking Oscars happened.
Spielberg did the Post, right?
Yeah, he did the Post, and the movie before that was The Big Friendly Giant, which was kind of a really boring adaptation of
Big fucking giant.
Big fucking gun. Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I
and
don't know, like I think the Post didn't win anything, I don't think, but it
No.
was Oscar nominated, so
Yeah,
Spielberg's doing
it was-
fine.
yeah, it was one of those things that was like, oh, it was Oscar nominated because it was that. It was one of those Oscar baiting movies. But yeah. And then he's coming out with this movie, and that's about all there is to say about that.
The Post was like the Oscar, the moviest movie ever. It had like Meryl
Yeah.
Streep and Tom Hanks
and Tom Hanks, and like
Steven
especially
Spielberg. It
compared
just
to fucking like the other movies that were up for Oscars
The
this
Post
year in
is like
particular.
the Post is the fucking the movie that Animaniacs is making fun of whenever they shit on Steven Spielberg, who produced it.
Yeah.
Animaniac. No, that what?
Well, yeah. This is more of a later in his career. What they were talking about was fucking like Schindler's List and stuff.
I
which is
know.
great. Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
yeah. But whatever, if they,
Yeah, he's talking like
this
thematically.
is when they, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The Post. Well, I mean, it's an interesting story about Pentagon Papers and stuff. I didn't see it though because like.
Yeah.
I just felt like in this political climate, it might have been a little bit masturbatory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I was just like, I think I'm just gonna pass on this one.
Yeah. And then and the Post was it was
It was
it was a movie. It was like
Did you see it?
was Bridge of Spies. Yeah, yeah. In fact, I talked about how I didn't I went into it and was like I completely mixed this up with Bridge of Spies, which was a movie that came out 2 years ago. Like in my mind, I'll think about Post had this scene. Oh wait, no, that was in Bridge of Spies, the
See,
other movie with Tom Hanks.
I actually really liked Bridge of Spies though.
Okay.
So I don't know. Let's move on though.
Okay.
This is kind of our rumor mill segment, but
Oh, buddy.
there's a bunch of internal rumors about GTA 6.
Oh, buddy.
Most of this, I believe, was broken by The Know, which is Rooster Teeth's news thing.
Really? I didn't actually know that. That's something I did learn.
You didn't
I
know
didn't-
that The Know was made by the Rooster Teeth people?
No.
Well,
yeah,
now you're in.
Those
So now-
videos I link you all the time. Those are those are by Rooster Teeth.
Huh.
But some of the things are the release date is expected to be 2021 or 2022, but it is a Rockstar game, so you can pretty much assume that it'll probably be 2 years after that.
Yeah, okay.
Internally, they're aiming for 3 to 4 years from now. So that's what
Okay.
2021 versus 2022.
It's the first Blade Runner versus the anyway.
Yeah, and Red Dead Redemption has been pushed back like 3 times. So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sure has.
actually about it, so it's been delayed twice for a total of 1 year. Originally meant to come out fall 2018, it's coming out fall 2019 now. Assuming as it doesn't get pushed again. But it shouldn't, but we'll see. The next GTA is supposed to be set in Vice City, potentially.
Again?
Well, what do you mean again? Like, GTA 4 was in Liberty City, which is the same place it was in 3, and the GTA 5 was in the same city as San Andreas, so like that's not weird. This is actually the first time they're reusing Vice City. Vice City's never been reused before.
Yeah.
Other than in Vice City Stories, which I think was a handheld, but
Yeah.
yeah. And
cool.
the other rumor, and this is less confirmed, but this this is one of the things, is there's going to be at least one female protagonist, probably.
Okay.
They don't know, though, if it's going to be the same style as GTA 5, where you're going to jump between 3 people or just have one character, but at least one of them is supposed to be a female lead.
I feel like the Grand Theft Auto games, their writing has just gone on this fucking upward slope of good shit. Grand Theft Auto 5 was
ridiculous because it's
fucking
supposed
great.
to be silly.
That's what's kind of funny about that is I was just listening to someone shit on the writing of GTA 5 the other day and was like, "What the hell are you talking about, man?"
Who
I
the
could not
fuck
believe.
is
I
this
could not
piece of
believe that.
shit, motherfucker.
He probably just played GTA 5 multiplayer. He's like, yeah, the ratings are shit.
No,
People
he-
have
he
to
played-
Everyone's why is all the dialogue in Russian?
No, he played the actual game. He just didn't like it.
He's a fucking moron, dumb, stupid idiot. The writing was
It was one of
wonderful
the
in
dudes
GTA
from
5.
Giant Bomb, but
Hey,
that
go
I
fuck
actually
himself. I
like.
don't give a
But...
shit.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that as a.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just who it was. But
Yeah,
I
okay,
actually
I
do
did
like
ask who
his
it was,
opinions
like-
normally.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not
that's
gonna
weird.
I'm not gonna explicitly shout him out though because I feel
You're
like
not gonna
that's mean.
explicitly say so that Thel won't go to his house and beat up his dog.
I think that's just mean.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, fair
move
enough.
on.
I agree.
Yeah, that's just rumor mill. All of that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm excited.
really would love them to go to Vice City,
Yeah.
because I love Vice City. That was my favorite Grand Theft Auto until 5.
Okay.
Well, San Andreas was also really good.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up. I like the theme better in Vice City. Another thing that they said was they are not sure if it's going to be set in the 80s again, but it's kind of like the Miami Vice City feel is kind of makes the most sense in that time period, but
Yeah.
don't actually know about that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the next thing moving on is I'm just gonna put Valve here.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Ugh. I smell cigarette smoke. It's coming in from outside. I gotta fix that.
that sucks.
Okay.
So there was a recent interview with Gabe Newell again. That okay, so he cause it was, you know how Artifact just came out? It's a card-based game
For Dota 2,
using
yeah.
the universe of Dota 2 designed by the creator of Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah.
It's called Artifact. He was doing some sort of interview for that, and he said to PC Gamer that Artifact will be the first of several games that will be developed by the studio. In addition, he talked about why Valve moved away from developing games. This is a direct quote from Gabe Newell. We've always been a little bit jealous of companies like Nintendo, Newell said. When Miyamoto is sitting down and thinking about the next version of Zelda or Mario, he's thinking about what the controller is going to look like, what sort of graphics and other capabilities. He can introduce more new capabilities like motion input because he controls both of those things. And he can make the hardware look as good as possible because he's designing the software at the same time. That's really going to take designing the software at the same time, that's really going to take advantage of it. So that is something we've been jealous of, and that's something that you'll see us taking advantage of. Okay, I'm not even gonna try.
Sequentially.
Sequentially. Yeah, I don't know. The font is weird and it's tripping me up.
Okay.
It's one of those things where like you've read a word a billion times, but the font makes it look weird, and you're like, "Am I reading this right?"
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess the big quote there is, the first of several games that will be developed by the studio. So apparently Valve is making games again. That doesn't mean that we're gonna get a 3 for anything, but
Yeah. I feel like because Valve is pushing really hard for like VR and stuff and working with the Vive, I feel like if Valve, or at least what Valve was back when it released Portal 2, released a game that was like purely VR and purely a game, it would put VR on the map. But I don't know.
Well, there's been separate things where they're talking about at least 3 VR games they're also working on. So there's anywhere between like 4 and 6 games that they're working on right now, potentially. That being said, anything can be canceled at any time. Like, they could just look at something and go, no, we're not doing this. So I don't know. But being kind of the platform for the HTC Vive basically means that they have a lot of that control that he's kind of getting at in this article. So maybe we'll see something really interesting coming out of it. Maybe we'll get that Half-Life 3 and it'll be a VR game. Who knows?
Maybe.
I think that the reason why there hasn't been a like major Valve VR game yet is because I think Valve is waiting to learn some of the lessons from other developers before they really cut into it, because I think Valve has always been the kind of company that like
Sort of
looks for something innovative, and they have high standards, so they're not going to
Yeah.
put out something that they don't know they haven't worked all the kinks out of yet.
Yeah.
Right.
They sit on something, they let someone else build the ground floor, and then they push it a little bit farther beyond.
Yeah, Valve would rather let
Or
something
just straight up buy them, like
Yeah,
Garrett Claude.
yeah.
Valve would rather let something die than put out a bad game, it seems
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So, and that's why there's been like stories of like 4 different Half-Life 3s being in development and canceled. So,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
There was like fucking stories about like a Half-Life movie that Valve was developing
like-
at one point.
That's like the joke. That it's
Yeah.
like the joke, you know, they never go to 3. Well, maybe they never go to 3 because all these developers that release 3 fucking games in like 2 years, the third one's always shit. Half the time the first 2 are shit if they're not spending any time developing them. So, you know.
I don't know, man. We just can't tell Gabe Newell. I mean, you know, we can tell him. We have to tell him that they're getting after us. But like, all right, Mr. Newell. Yes. Numbers do go up to 3. Get out of my office. You're fired.
You're fired. All right, we're gonna move on then.
Okay, that was fun. Yeah, we did it.
Robin Walker, you keep developing Team Fortress 2 and don't ever say the word 3 to me again.
Okay. Team
All right,
Fortress
so
2 expanded.
Team
Go on.
Fortress 2.
So March 7th, that was last Wednesday. If you're
Yeah.
Okay.
watching this live, or I guess it would be a week from today.
It's
if
that
on
was
the-
last.
No matter what way you slice
Yeah,
it.
March 7th, which was a Wednesday if you're watching this live, and a Tuesday if you're watching this on the YouTube.
I said
channel.
last Wednesday.
Yeah, you said last Wednesday. You did.
Anyway, so apparently the Oculus Rift had a Windows security certificate that expired on the 7th. And no one was there to replace it. So if you had an Oculus Rift and you were on the 7th, for some reason your Oculus Rift just bricked. Like, well, it didn't brick because that implies that it like is broken.
Never
This is
will
never gonna
forever.
work. Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
it like couldn't reach Oculus runtime server. It wouldn't it wouldn't turn on, it wouldn't work unless you set your clock back. Your PC clock back in time, then it would work again.
Weird.
Yeah, well, because it was a security certificate that expired and they never replaced it. Like they didn't because that's a thing that normally people just do. They'll replace the security certificate.
Yeah.
But
Now, if you were not connected to the internet, would it?
yes, it would. It would still break because
The
Windows
security certificate is.
has its own internal clock, whether you're connected to it or not. And if the clock time is after that security date, then it just doesn't work. It won't. Windows will refuse to run it.
Okay.
That happened for about 12 hours, something like that. I don't actually know for sure, but it was down for like half a day or something. And they have released a fix for the problem. So you have to go to their website and download a firmware update or something. Yeah, so yeah, you have to install a download patch or whatever, and that'll fix it. And they said anyone who launched the system in that time frame gets $15 of Oculus Store credit.
Okay. Well.
Good.
So
they're trying to fix it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying to like make amends.
yeah.
Okay,
It's kind of a
enough.
huge blunder. Like, could you imagine?
That's like
mess-
that's the kind of thing that's like, how did no one remember?
Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't know.
like a bunch of people purchased a $600 fucking piece of hardware and it just broke for half of a day.
Some dude woke up on like the table of a bar with like an entire bottle of whiskey, like, Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh motherfucker!
What year is
Security
it?
fucking certificate. Hold on, I need to call. Guys, do we get the security certificate? The security
Nobody's in
what?
the
I know
office.
it's supposed to be my job, but I fucked up.
I
a
just
little
think
bit.
the funny-
I fucked up a little bit.
I just think the funniest part of it is it affected every Twitch. Or not every. Why do I keep saying Twitch? it affected
no, that's
every.
actually hilarious. Like 15 different Twitch streamers with like goggles on are like, whoa, this is. Fuck.
I'm blind.
I can't see.
Fuck.
It affected every Oculus Rift system, which is just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Jeez.
I'm looking at a million different things. I just must have read Twitch somewhere.
Yeah, fair enough.
Uh,
Twitch streamer John Gamer was fucking pissed off that Oculus broke.
So, last thing we're gonna go into for today, and this will be the last half hour of the show. We're just gonna go over.
It's gonna be the entire fucking thing.
This is gonna be the rest of it. We're gonna go over the Nintendo Direct and then talk about the final announcement for probably a majority of it. So
Oh,
I'm just
buddy.
gonna rush through some of this. Oh,
Are the
I misclicked. Okay, I'm
We'll
just
do a
gonna go
rush
through
through
the
comment thing.
kind of the highlights real fast. Things that I don't really want to talk about, but I think are worth mentioning.
Okay, dokie.
There's going to be a new WarioWare
Oh
Pretty
fuck
nifty.
yeah! I
For-
didn't know about
for
this.
3DS.
It's a WarioWare collection, so it has like
Oh.
old games and new.
Yeah, it's called
No,
WarioWare
it-
Gold. It's gonna have all of the first two games and new stuff for the 3DS. So that's kind of cool. They're
I love WarioWare. I love all of the Wario games. Wario is my favorite character.
doing a collection for Bowser's Inside Story
Oh yeah.
plus
yeah.
Bowser
It's
Jr.
A remake, not a
Yeah,
collection.
yeah.
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
It's a remake
it a
of
remake?
Bowser's Inside Story, and then the Bowser Jr. mode is the same thing they did with Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. You get to play the villain side story while also play like that
Okay.
takes place at the same time as the game.
yeah, I think there's the third thing in there too, but I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
There is a Detective Pikachu game, Which
That's
has
definitely coming.
an old
No, no,
talking
no, yeah.
Pikachu, and I have a new Pikachu
He is
amiibo.
voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
No, that's the movie.
No, the game is also voiced by
Is it?
Ryan Reynolds. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you watch the Nintendo Direct? Like
Yeah, but I don't recognize
watch
his
it,
voice.
listen to it? No, yeah, it was definitely Ryan Reynolds. Like, it's basically what if Deadpool turned into a Pikachu.
I'm gonna check this.
I'm certain. I know it because they said it in the Direct. They said Ryan Reynolds.
That doesn't surprise
Well,
me.
this
at
isn't
all.
really helpful because Wikipedia says it's Danny DeVito, so I'm pretty sure this is just.
Wikipedia says it's
I
Danny DeVito
I
right
think-
now. Are you fucking
I
kidding
think so.
me?
Yeah, I think Wikipedia. Someone's trolling Wikipedia.
Yes.
Let it be Danny DeVito.
So that's.
I think he'd
Danny
make a best
DeVito doesn't
funny.
know what a Pokemon is.
He doesn't need to know what a Pokemon is.
He was also an M&M recently.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was the humanized version of the
Oh,
red
yeah,
M&M.
When I heard that Danny DeVito did not know what a Pokemon was, I was just imagining the first thing that popped in my head was the whole gang from Always Sunny in Philadelphia sitting Frank down and trying to describe to him what Pokemon was. Just for like an entire 30 minutes, and that's just the funniest shit it's ever popped into my head.
I feel
love it.
like if Danny DeVito doesn't know what a Pokemon is,
Okay, you know
that
what it
would
is?
be perfect
What?
for Detective Pikachu because it'll be Danny DeVito who doesn't know what the fuck a Pokemon is playing Pikachu. And it's just a 10 out of 10 idea. I cannot find a single flaw with that.
Okay, it is not Ryan Reynolds. It is a
What?
Danny DeVito sound-alike.
A Danny DeVito sound
He's
alike.
the same person who did the voice of the Lorax. Wait, no, wasn't that Danny DeVito?
A Danny DeVito sound alike or a Ryan Reynolds sound
Well,
alike?
okay.
Are we getting confused here?
Danny DeVito was the voice
It
of
is
the
a-
Lorax, but
It is a Danny DeVito sound-alike.
yeah, it might have like been like a cartoon or something with the Lorax in it that
Yeah, I
had
don't know.
like a Danny DeVito
Probably.
sound something.
And then the Ryan Reynolds is the movie adaptation, which is not out yet.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds doing a Danny DeVito impression as he plays Detective Pikachu.
What is this world right now?
I'm sorry.
This
I
is a
just found out that
wonderful world that I love.
I just found out that Alex Hirsch is fucking writing the script for the
Actually,
Detective Pikachu
you know what? I
movie.
actually knew
yeah!
that. I actually knew that, but I totally
yeah.
forgot.
Oh, same.
Alex
I knew that
Hirsch and
too.
Nicole Perlman from Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor.
That's silly.
That's ridiculous.
They're doing a Luigi's Mansion remake for the Nintendo
Again?
3DS. No, not again.
Yeah,
The first one was a
second one,
sequel.
yeah, that was a sequel.
Oh, right.
This is a actually remake of the first one, which is kind of weird because the sequel is better, from what I've
Right.
heard. But you know, whatever.
I love the original Luigi's Mansion, but that's, I mean,
Yeah.
it has Luigi and it's about fucking ghosts. What the fuck do you expect?
Also, it's
from
kind of
him? A simple
short, wasn't
man.
it?
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of short.
Uh,
I wrote a walkthrough for that game. I have
Really?
a walkthrough for that game on GameFAQs somewhere. I wrote that shit in junior high. It was terrible.
You're kidding.
that's hilarious.
No. Why?
I don't know.
Did you read a walkthrough for Luigi's Mansion that
I've
was
never
written by a
played
junior
Luigi's
high
Mansion.
schooler?
I mean, I might have.
Um, could you imagine? The internet is a
Friends-
very small place.
Friends are connected to each other before they even meet.
There's a
That's
co-
the story of how I got my cutie mark.
the Okami.
Mansion.
Okay, I want to move on. The Okami HD remake is moving to Switch.
Oh, good.
There's a new Travis Touchdown game.
Hell yes.
It
No more
is
heroes.
not- It is not a real No More Heroes
No
game.
More
It is
Heroes game, yeah.
kind of a weird collection of 6 mini games.
Yeah, there is
Okay.
a story mode, but
Yeah,
the story mode does the mini games. So it has
Yeah.
a No More Heroes story.
right, but it's not. It doesn't have the No More Heroes combat system. I think the closest one is like a top-down kind of thing.
Right.
So I don't know if you're interested in No More Heroes, check that out.
Yeah.
They're making a new amiibo for Dark Souls.
It will be a Solera of Astora amiibo.
And he's doing the sun pose.
Happy, good
And
things.
So they did this
that
in the
exist.
trailer, and I don't know if this is what what it actually does in the game, but they tapped the amiibo and it made him do the pose. So I wonder if it's just like that's
Which is really silly because you can get the Praise the Sun emote really fast. It's the first time you meet Solera of Astora.
right.
Yeah.
Well, but you
You get
might
the
not
Praise
have
the
to go
Sun
through a
emote.
menu. You could just tap it.
That would be funny, and also probably harder than just going through the menu.
It probably would.
Yeah.
Does that mean that there's going to be other amiibo with different emotes though? That would be funny. If
That
all
would
of the
be-
amiibos just did different emotes.
That would be funny. I think I'm going to get the Solera of Astora amiibo and not and get Dark Souls remastered on PC. I
Yeah.
just want the amiibo.
I might
Yeah.
do the same thing. I kind of just
Like-
want the amiibo.
I
I'm not
have
even
my-
that big into Dark Souls, but I think that it's just a really cool looking amiibo.
Yeah.
I have my Samus amiibo, famous from the story about the shoes. One Samus amiibo, never used, for sale. Except it's not for sale.
I remember when I was over at his house the first time. I was like, "Hey, Dalsson, look, I'm Nintendo." Oh, all right, that's a cool figurine you got on your desk there. Who's he? But that's not true no more. My girl getting the fucking new Prime game, motherfuckers. We back in it. Hell yes. Hell yes.
I hope they bring out like a Prime Collection remake or something too, because I'd like to play through them. Because those were games that I skipped on the GameCube for some reason. I don't.
I
Really know
have
why.
the Metroid Prime trilogy for the Wii. Also never opened. It's still in the
Oh.
plastic.
Well, yeah. If they ported that over from the Wii, also Wind Waker HD. Those are two of the games that I really want them to port still.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that they've ported over, Captain Toad is going to be ported to both the Switch and the Nintendo 3DS.
Fuck is Captain Toad? I don't know nothing about that.
Captain Toad was actually, from everything I've heard, a really good puzzle game,
Okay.
starring Toad. From
So that
it's-
Toad.
The
Yeah.
the idea it's
Oh.
based on
From
a
Mario.
Japanese puzzle garden.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
it has gameplay somewhat similar to Fez, except the developers are,
Not giant fuck.
Yeah, it's very
assholes.
similar to Fez, just not like Fez is like a 2D version of this, where this is like a 3D version of the same thing,
Yeah.
kind of. And you
So if you
rotate,
wanna
you
play-
rotate in
yeah.
360 degrees rather than like snapping.
Fair
Mhm.
enough. So if you want to play a game like Fez, but without supporting Phil Dix, then go ahead and play Captain
I
Toad.
think Fez is one of those games that's hard not to have received a free copy of at some point.
Yeah.
In my defense, I've never received a free copy of Fez.
I think I have like 3.
All right. I mean, I'm not asking for one.
Yeah. I think I've never played it on principle.
Okay. Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah, the other thing is
Insane.
they're adding new levels from Super Mario Odyssey. Like there's a new Donk City level on Captain Toad now.
Ooh.
So stuff like that. Undertale is being switched.
Yeah.
Switched, being ported to Switch.
The active word here.
They also
Yeah.
had a little tiny animation with it. I mean, it's not funny, but Sans and Papyrus are
I
talking to each other.
thought it was kind of funny. It was like banter.
Yeah, it's banter. It's not funny in the idea that there's not an actual joke, but it's funny in the idea that Sans makes a pun. So if you like
And they're just
Undertale,
being goofy. They're just being goofy on camera.
where's the Switch?
Make the switch to the Nintendo
Crash
Switch.
Bandicoot is going to be on Switch.
Which is crazy.
This is a thing that's been rumored for like basically since before Crash Bandicoot came out. On the PS4.
Yeah.
It is the Crash Bandicoot Gold Collection or whatever. It's the same game that came
Insane
out on
Trilogy. It's
Insane
that,
Trilogy.
It's
that's
that
what
remake, yeah.
And yeah, so that is coming to the Switch, which is
I'm
really
probably gonna
cool.
pick this up on the Switch because I don't have a PlayStation 4.
I
Although I might
wanted
buy
it.
one. I just got my taxes. I might buy one.
That was one of the games that I really wanted to play on the PlayStation 4, and so now
Right.
I'm really excited that it's coming to the Switch because I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation 4.
I might. Little Nightmares is being ported. So is South Park.
Little Nightmares is a game that we Let's Played recently. You can watch the whole thing on our YouTube channel, which is
Not the
right
whole
here.
thing.
You
It's
can. It's
still
not all up,
it's
boy.
not all out yet.
Hey,
You can
you
watch the whole
cannot
thing
watch the
on our
whole thing.
YouTube
Yeah, you
channel.
gotta wait
Soon.
soon.
The Hyrule Warriors got a release date, which I don't remember what it is, and I don't want to open this because then it'll play noises at me.
It is May 18th.
May 18th. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm kind of excited for that. I just wish it was a bit closer because I have kind of been really feeling a Musou game. Might pick up Fire Emblem Warriors just to get that sooner.
Right.
So there's the other two big things
Hey,
before the
there-
last.
Arms. There's an Arms
Oh,
invitation.
There is an ARMS tournament. No one cares. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Some people do.
Some people played ARMS. I remember hearing about ARMS.
So
and
ARMS is
hearing
like
about
the
what a lady
8th
has
best-selling game, but I don't think anyone cares.
Okay.
I really don't think that ARMS is gonna have legs.
Well, Sans, where's the Switch?
But you know what?
Thank
ARMS
you for
does have?
the most obvious repeated joke that I've heard a million times about ARMS.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what ARMS does have, and the one thing that made it sell to the point where it is, ARMS does got butt. That's all
I think
it
they're
needed.
gonna put ARMS in the new Smash game, and then those characters will be more popular in Smash than in ARMS.
You want to hear the most repeated joke? I think. Hold on, we haven't even gotten to new Smash games.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining just because of the fact that like no one knows who any of the characters in ARMS are. It's just you just have the Smash thing. ARMS.
Who?
What?
Yeah, you're like you don't even know a name of any of the characters, so you couldn't even say
Yeah.
like a character name.
Yeah, you can say like a character name, but no, the fucking announcer doesn't even.
I know. I know of
he just calls them
Penelope
ARMS.
Inflation Fetish, that clown character.
But
Yeah.
you know though,
Twintail, who has the butt. That
though,
would've
this never hurt Captain Falcon. So
Hey man, don't talk shit about the F-Zero games. They're fun as hell.
yeah, but Captain Falcon was like a portrait, and they made him a character who fights people. So
Fair enough.
Captain Falcon is more of an iconic character from Super Smash Bros. Than he is from F-Zero.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I'm saying the same thing is going to happen with ARMS, even though both of them are kind of competitive fighters. Or
Yeah.
competitive fighters.
Semi-competitive.
Yeah.
Arms is trying to be a legit competitive fighter, whereas Smash, like, Sakurai legit does not want it to be a competitive fighter despite other people's wishes.
Actively.
So the next thing is Splatoon is getting a big story DLC.
Talk about this one. This is awesome. Now,
I might pick up Splatoon.
This is the kind of thing that DLC should be, right?
Yeah.
Now, Splatoon, primarily, once people complete the story, they play it mostly as a multiplayer game. It is a competitive shooter, and it has some really interesting mechanics and yada yada. We've been over Splatoon. Everybody knows what Splatoon is. Now,
You're a squid now, you're a kid now.
yeah, exactly. Except with this new DLC, they are introducing a new story mode where you will get to play as an Octoling, which, if you don't know anything about Splatoon, Octolings are like, from my understanding, I don't know enough about Splatoon. To really
You're not deep into the Splatoon lore.
Now, the Octolings or octopuses are the primary enemies in Splatoon in the story mode.
Yeah.
Right? And you go around these levels, you shoot them and you fight them, and it's a shooter story. You know, it's fun to play. I'm not saying it's not. It's just, but that's what Octolings.
Well, let's just hurry this up because
you will play as an Octoling who is like a squid kid, but
And
an
a kid,
octopus.
Octopus.
And also like much sexier than the squid kids, so they're like more like octopus adults probably.
Let's not go into that.
All I'm
All
saying is
worms.
they got the butt. And when you complete this story, you will unlock the ability to play as an Octoling in multiplayer. So it's a DLC. I believe it is a free patch. I think they said it was a free DLC, but I'm not 100% sure about that. You complete the story, so there's a bunch of new story levels, and it gives you a reward for.
There's a bunch of new
completing
There's a bunch of new
the story.
costumes and stuff that you get
Yeah.
at the end of the new story.
It's-
That all seems
yeah.
cool. I kind of want to jump into Splatoon because I don't know. I never picked it up because I'm not super into console shooters. And I don't know,
Yeah.
Splatoon just I'm actually more interested in playing the game for the story mode. I don't even know if I would play it competitively. or not competitively, but play the competitive mode.
The main reason I don't play Splatoon, I really like it, but the main reason I don't play it is because I am bad at aiming with a control stick, and the motion control aiming is very unintuitive to me. And both of those things I know would get easier with practice, but it's hard to practice, you know?
I'm
'Cause I would
actually
rather
pretty
just go
good at
play
control
something
stick
else.
aiming because I played a ton of Halo.
I mean, so did I, but I haven't done that in years.
I played a
you know?
ton of Halo. I don't know, that's like riding a bike for me. Like, it just comes back naturally.
I played Halo on the PC.
Yeah, well.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I want Master Chief Collection to be like fixed up for the PC.
I
I'd
want
really love
Master
to play
Chief
that.
in the new Smash Bros.
Yeah, okay. The last thing is there was a Mario Tennis thing.
It looks
That game
cool.
actually looks a lot better than I was kind of thinking at first.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of strategy in it from what they were describing, which is really
Plus,
kind
it
of
just
cool.
looks fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there's something that just looks fun about it, and that's weird to me because I really don't care about sports games like ever, even Mario ones. But this one actually looks pretty fun and interesting. So that's
Mario
the thing.
Tennis, the first Mario Tennis is fun as hell.
Right.
I kind of like I'm also like not super into sports games, even the Mario games, except for Mario Tennis. I'm going for Mario Tennis. I love me some Mario Tennis. I need to get my ass a Switch. Fuck.
Yeah, I think they're $300. They're not that bad.
Yeah.
Some people
No,
were
not
like complaining
terribly
about the price, but I think that's like perfect. So
Yeah.
$599 US.
and then we're at the big news of the week.
Here we go.
They confirmed the new Super Smash Brothers, and it's coming out 2018, so it's coming out this year.
Okay, so
Yay.
here's the thing that lends the most credence to this being a new Super Smash Bros. Game and not a Super Smash Bros. 4 port.
The line.
The headline of this says Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros. Working title. If it were not a working title, they would just call it
Actually, I think
Smash Bros.
the thing that leads more credence to it, me, is that the logo is different. And I don't think they would remake the logo for a remake. You know what I mean? If it was a remake, they would just use the same logo.
Well, that's the
the
thing.
line. There's not. They don't have the little.
Yes, you're referencing the Donkey video, but I still think that is an actual legitimate point. So
I agree, but here's why working title I think says more to me, because there are already two versions of Super Smash Bros. 4. There's Super Smash Bros. 4, the 3DS, and there's Super Smash Bros. 4, the Wii U. Why not just call it Super Smash Bros. 4, the Switch?
I don't think that
Super Smash Bros.
But I don't really think that
Switch.
says much to me, because it could be like, oh, we don't know if we want to say Deluxe or Ultra or Plus or Super or whatever.
Or Plus Ultra.
Super Smash Bros. Switch.
When is All Might
Street Fighter
going to be
Smash
Super Smash
Bros. 2K Deluxe for 2027 38.
Anyway, so I was wondering, every new Smash Brothers. So let's operate under the impression that this is a brand new Smash Brothers. Every new Super Smash Brothers adds new characters. Are there any specific characters you would guys like to see?
Sans Undertale.
They did it.
But
Lisa
is already in Smash Bros.
Undertale is coming to the Switch, so maybe it would be like a weird. I mean, they have Game & Watch. Like,
I know who I want. Another game coming to the Switch that I really hope gets a cameo in Smash Bros. Hollow Bug from Hollow Knight.
Ooh, yeah, that would be cool.
Don't think it'll happen. I think that's
but he might be a trophy or an assist trophy.
I don't think so.
One game that
you know
is
what
possible.
I think what a more likely thing is a Stardew Valley something, because Stardew Valley has like consistently been the second highest game like on and off since the Switch launched. Since it came out on Switch.
Now,
to the extent that Nintendo knows about Stardew Valley, so
we know for sure that Splatoon, the way that they announced this was by playing a Splatoon video, so we know that Squid Kid is going to.
There's a very good, there's a very likely chance that.
I don't even think it's a good chance. That's like 100% confirmed. That's how they introduced it.
It's not 100% confirmed because there's no trailer saying introducing, and then it has the like Smash music. Like, I don't know. It is not confirmed until it's confirmed. Okay, you can't just say things are confirmed.
I'm really excited.
I think that it is almost
maybe
certain.
If Star Citizen comes to the Switch, we can see Spaceship in the new game. I'm excited for that.
We already have F-Zero. We don't need to. And what if just Fox's spaceship is a character?
Fox's spaceship is a map.
Yeah.
I hope that Lisa gets ported so that you can play as Brad.
No, but for real.
Oh God, yes.
For real though, what characters would you like to see? Which ones can you think of? What about Captain Toad?
I legitimately do not care.
Yeah, this is
you'll do whatever.
Yeah, it's
I'll buy it. Are there any characters that left that you would like to see come back?
Ridley.
Don't think there were any characters that were left.
Yes, there were. Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I would really love to see Solid Snake.
I don't know. I feel like Kojima might be the only reason that Snake was in Smash.
Yeah, that's certain. But at the same time, Konami likes money, so they might just be like, "Here, have it. Give me money. Take it. Sure."
We would love it if you were to put our new character Pachinko Machine in the new Smash Bros. Game.
The Dragon Lover from chat says Fire Emblem character number 70.
Yeah. Let's get yet another Fire Emblem in there.
Or just Smash.
At
this point,
how about that version of Lyn from Fire Emblem Heroes that is on the horse with a bow and arrow and just is the best character in that game?
I think they had a good idea by putting Robin in there. You had the male or female Robin in Smash 4. they're the same character. So why not just
That's not bad.
why not just let the reskins of the Fire Emblem character? They already have like seriously 7 Fire Emblem characters. Why not just let like you play as your favorite Fire Emblem? They all have similar weapons, so they all mechanically work the same in Fire Emblem. So why not just like let them reskin as other characters?
Oh,
Like, you
also they're
Hold
using.
on. Actually, going on with that, I feel like if they put Robin in Smash, they definitely need to put in Batman. What the fuck are they doing?
Oh my God.
Christ.
Also, they're using the Breath of the Wild version of Link this time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
did
yeah,
see that.
no, that makes sense.
They
I
pretty much
hope
do-
I
they
hope
do
they
that
don't
every time.
use. Well, it's been Twilight Princess for a while.
It's true.
I really hope that they don't bring the Breath of the Wild Zelda though. 'Cause I don't like her design nearly as much as I did in
Yeah.
Twilight Princess.
Now in Smash
Hopefully
4,
the-
Zelda and Sheik were separate characters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um.
And
That
as a result,
actually-
Zelda became like one of the worst characters in the game.
That actually is. Hang on. That actually makes me think that is a point you could have. You could have like Rivali and the rest of them.
Well, okay. I don't
That's
think they would do
not-
Rivali because he would look like Falco.
He would just be Falco. Yeah.
Um,
Rivali Falco.
They'll have a
skin
Falco
maybe.
skin that's
that
revolved.
that's actually that would be
That
cool.
actually is a cool. Yeah.
I don't think they would do the Gerudo guy because he's boring and nobody liked him.
Gerudo lady.
Oh yeah, no, I meant
Urbosa is her name.
I meant the
Gorin.
Gorin,
The
yeah.
Gorin guy,
But yeah, also the Gerudo lady is not great either. Who is the last one? Oh, what if they had what's his face?
Yeah. I legitimately said it 3 seconds ago. Y'all forgetting
Oh, yeah, I
our
didn't-
boy.
I
Which
forget his
boy?
name.
What boy?
The
It's Sidon.
Fishman.
Oh, Sidon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sidon is not
or even the other girl.
Sidon is not the yeah.
Or his
the
sister, the
guy,
lady.
Yeah.
Yes,
Man, I
now.
really don't remember their names. I'm really bad with names.
I don't remember any of their names either.
Cass confirmed for Smash.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
I
Well, we should-
legitimately
if-
could
if
see
they're using-
Cass being an assist.
He
trophy,
was
like,
kind of popular.
100%.
Oh yeah, he'll probably be an assist trophy for sure.
If
Yeah.
they're using the Breath of the Wild Link, they could use Gerudo Link as a skin. That would be great.
Gerudo Link.
Oh, the
Well, you
Oh,
know
the
exactly what
harem
I'm talking about.
garb.
Don't lie.
Yeah. I mean that
would
seems
yeah.
legitimate.
Actually, there
They
would
did
be.
have-
Okay, think about that. They could have the red costume could be the like fire armor Link.
Yeah.
The like blue costume could be the harem garb. Like they could have different
Yeah.
Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild
I mean,
costumes because there was a lot of costumes.
In
in
Smash
that game.
4, Fierce Deity Link was one of the costumes for Link. So like
Yeah.
I
And
could
they
totally see
definitely-
that.
Link's been
they
one for
definitely
22
do more
years.
than palette swaps now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already been doing returning
The line.
characters.
Go.
I
I
would
really hope-
like Ice Climbers back. I really would
Really?
because
Yeah,
yes,
okay,
because the only reason they took Ice Climbers out was because it couldn't support the double character style. That's the same
Yeah.
reason that Sheik
Oh.
and Zelda were split into two.
Oh
characters.
yeah.
Oh really? I thought that was a balance thing.
No.
No.
Wingy, who is our resident Smash expert, says he sure does not hope that Ice Climbers come back. But
Ice Climbers was like brokenly powerful in Brawl, from what I've heard.
yeah, well, you know,
Uh,
that's just a balancing thing. They could just balance it.
yeah.
better.
Well, didn't
Trouble
didn't
Wario
Samus
comes
turn
back.
into Zero Suit Samus in Brawl as well?
Wario's,
In Brawl, yeah, she
Yeah, she sure
had
did.
like
Because
a
she
Link
doesn't
and,
in 4.
Sheik thing, yeah.
right? Yeah, she doesn't. So the second, the like two of the characters that swapped between things were removed or split into characters. Ice Climbers was completely removed. It was and
Bayonetta-
it was a system limitation.
So they added Bayonetta. I could totally see Bayonetta coming back, if not
She's absolutely
if
coming
not
back.
as a
They're
core
coming out with-
roster. Like I could see her coming back as DLC again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
absolutely
broken. She was like broken from what I heard in 4.
She was so broken they hot fixed her.
Wow.
Like I
Yeah.
think that was the first hot.
And
fix
she
that
was
they came
still
out with Smash
occasionally
4.
banned in tournaments from what I heard.
Yeah.
Not on the same level that Meta Knight was in Brawl, but definitely like often.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because all the DLC characters that they added, Cloud and Bayonetta, like they were top of the tier list for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's just funny to me.
Yeah.
What
I hope
about
Mario comes back.
What about Pac-Man? You want Pac-Man to come back?
No.
How about
He was
Mega
the-
Man?
Pac-Man was in.
Yes.
In 4.
Pac-Man was in Smash 4.
So was
Mega
Ryu.
Man, yes.
So was Ryu.
Ryu, I feel like, okay, Ryu I have very strong feelings about. I don't think he should return. I think that his character design in 4 went completely against the design of fucking Smash Bros. In the first place.
I think
Like
it was
from
kind of
Street
cool
Fighter.
that... I don't know if
Like-
Mewtwo is still in Smash. I think
Mewtwo
Ryu
was
was
in
cool.
Oh, Mewtwo! I thought you said Ryu.
No, Ryu
we
was
did say
also in
Ryu
Smash.
from Street Fighter.
Oh.
Mewtwo. Megan asked, Dragon Lover in chat asked if Mewtwo was still in Smash, and he is
Okay.
as a DLC character for Smash 4.
Okay.
They removed him from Brawl. He came back as a DLC character.
It was replaced by Lucario in Brawl, I think.
They should just
He
take
was.
Lucario out. I hate
Um,
Lucario. I would not
like
like to.
Lucario.
I would like them not to bring back Greninja. They have too many Pokemon.
Yeah,
I would rather them have Pokemon
I-
Trainer again instead of like Charizard.
I thought it was a good idea for them to split Pokemon Trainer, or they didn't split Pokemon Trainer. That was the problem.
They took him out,
Yeah, they took him out and it replaced him with Charizard.
which just made it bad.
yeah. But that reminds me, I'm betting that they're going to bring Incineroar as a fighter. And I say Incineroar specifically because he's the one who's based on a fighting
Oh,
personality.
Yeah.
the evolved form of Litten.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want Duck Hunt to come back?
Oh, God. Duck Hunt was really egregious,
Forgot
and
about that.
nobody was good at Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt just seems so funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these not Pokemon. Some of these Smash characters are just funny, like Rob,
Yeah, exactly.
Rob, and Duck Hunt. And
I think there is a good potential for like third-party characters.
Here's
though,
one
because
that I'd like to
they've
return.
Really established it. Yeah.
I'd like Little Mac to return. I know that people hated him especially in the handheld version, but I thought he was a fitting character to be in Smash.
Yeah.
Fair. That's
Oh.
fair.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any new characters because they have to add some new ones, right?
Hang on.
Virtual Boy.
Let me talk about
You
what I
could
was
add
saying.
The Virtual
I don't
Boy.
want Ryu to come back. I don't want Ryu to come back because I think it undermined the entire point of Smash in that you had your regular Smash control scheme, but everything you did was more powerful if you did the fucking Street Fighter inputs. And the whole point of Smash, the entire point, is that the stupid fucking fighting game inputs are not there. It's B and a
but I
direction.
think that it's like I think that's fine because Ryu.
I-
you have to play Ryu. Like it's not.
I don't think it was because it undermined the point in that it was totally worthless to play Ryu if you didn't do those fighting game inputs.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. I don't think that's a big deal for me.
Ugh.
I just think if you don't like that, don't play Ryu. Kind of.
Sure, I guess that makes sense.
Because the people who would be attracted to playing Ryu would want that. Like I get what
Right.
you're saying, and I wouldn't be upset if Ryu didn't come back. But I don't like. I'm just kind of indifferent to Ryu.
Right. You know what they should do? They should remove Ryu, and then if people want to play a Street Fighter character, they can play Ken, and he doesn't have those powered up moves because he sucks.
What? Ken is
Okay.
exactly like Ryu, except he does fire attacks. He's like Roy.
He's exactly
He's like the
Ryu.
Roy version of Marth.
No, he's exactly like Ryu, except his moves are less strong. That is the only difference. So that's why I said all of them.
No,
in
that's
every
not true
Street
at all.
Yes,
he has
it is.
different. He has different moves. No,
We
he
have
has
Wingy
different
here in
moves.
the
and stuff.
chat. He'll tell you in a second once the stream catches up.
No,
Okay.
he had different attacks in Street Fighter. Anyway. Like for instance, the Dragon Punch. Like Ryu had a worse version of the Dragon Punch, and Ken had a better version of the Dragon Punch.
What I'm asserting, Wingy, is that Ken is a worse version of Ryu. He's exactly like Ryu except worse.
That's not true. He is
Yeah.
very similar. He's like
It doesn't-
Scorpion to Sub-Zero. They're similar, but they're different. They're
Um,
not better. Like because Dan is the Ryu but worse.
That's who I was thinking of then. Oh, my
oh,
bad.
oh, you kept
Yeah.
saying Ken. I was like, what
yeah,
are you talking
well,
about?
I was saying Ken, but I didn't. I was thinking of Dan, I guess.
Okay. Well, no, they
remove
should not
Ryu
have
and
Dan.
and
Fuck Dan.
They should put Dan in because to make him worse.
Oh, all right.
That's who I was thinking. My
Anyway,
apologies.
I'm really trying to think of other like Nintendo properties, or like I would really like Snake to come back. I'd really like Sonic to come back.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'd rather them not have. Well, actually, maybe Tails would be fun.
I mean, if we're
have
going
a-
to bring in characters from like from like other properties that were big NES games, I want to see Freddy Krueger.
Pretty no.
I want to see the kid
Jason
from Home
Voorhees.
Alone.
You know what? I would be
Me too.
interested in Tails coming in, but I would be afraid of them bringing in Tails and Tails essentially being Diddy Kong. Because I could see that happening, and Diddy Kong is like ridiculous.
They nerfed him so the reason so
I think he was
so
I think he was still pretty high in the tier list even after
little
that, though.
little bit of smash lore here. Diddy Kong was ridiculous because he was the only character in Smash Bros. History, I believe, that had an unbreakable infinite combo. You threw somebody onto the ground, jumped up, grabbed them, and threw them onto the ground again. And you could get it was literally unbreakable. There was nothing anybody
That
could
was
do about
okay,
it.
so they changed that, but he moved
changed
from
that.
being like the best of the tier list to being like fourth. Like he was still ridiculous, I think.
Okay. I'm getting argued with again, but I think that's the gist of it. In any case,
Anyway, man, what else? What else could they add? There's a lot
Dr.
of
Mario.
stage. Dr. Mario's been in there since the second game.
Oh,
since
did
Melee.
he? Really?
Dr.
I
Mario's
could've
been
sworn
in there
they
since
took him out,
Melee.
like- I could have sworn that they took him out in Brawl or something.
they did take Dr. Mario out.
Oh, but he was back in 4 though. And
Oh,
actually, I
yeah.
think Dr. Mario may have been DLC for Brawl, possibly.
Yeah, Dr. Mario was DLC. They added him as like alt character DLC. He came along with. There was Dr. Mario, there was Lucas, who was an alt to Ness, and then there was like I think they added Toon Link. I'm not positive. I don't remember. I stopped.
Toon Link
following
has
the
been
thing.
in every game. They just change his name occasionally.
Right.
Well, every game since
Yeah.
Well,
since
or Melee.
Melee, yeah.
Yeah. Since Wind Waker came out.
Wingy from chat says that he was not in
Dr. Mario
Brawl.
was not a. Oh.
Dr. Mario was not in Brawl, so
Yeah,
that's
what I
fine.
thought.
And
Yeah.
the Splatoon characters are for sure going to be like they even had Mario Kart characters. They were even Mario Kart characters, so I would be surprised if they weren't. But
basically, I like first party Nintendo IP that they're pushing hard right now. Splatoon, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be it. Maybe.
well, no, there's no way it's not going to be in because they used it to announce it. Like there's no way that it wouldn't. I just don't see that happening.
I said that 15 minutes
No,
ago.
yeah, but I was-
Shane Dalsson definitely, absolutely said that 15
No,
minutes.
I think that he's
Straight
going to be
the
there.
fuck
I
up.
just said that you can't say he's
Legitimately.
confirmed because he's not confirmed. I said
Okay,
that's what I was saying.
Confirmed, though.
That is not confirmed. Confirmed means Nintendo says directly that's the case.
A Splatoon
Nintendo
assist
should have
trophy.
a trailer about Smash, right? In which Squid Kids were prominent to the point where there was a zoom in on a Squid Kid's eye. You might have missed this, and it showed the Smash logo
showed the
inside
Bloodborne
the
cart
Squid
logo.
Kid's eye. I would say that's a little confirmed.
Not confirmed. They didn't say. What if they added?
I would like
What if-
Warframe in Smash.
What if they added Crash
Comments
Bandicoot?
from Path of Exile. That I could actually see them doing.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine? Picture this: Mario, Crash Bandicoot, and Sonic fighting
And
in
Mega
Smash
Man.
Brothers.
And Mega
What?
Man.
Oh, not Mega Man, because Mega Man's
Yeah,
never
Mega
been-
Man was fucking Mega Man wasn't part of that console war.
Yeah, Mega Man wasn't a mascot, a console mascot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Hope they bring back Kirby.
What
Really
about?
liked him.
Oh. So I was reading like some things that other people would like. What if they added Shovel Knight? I could see that.
People were wanting Shovel Knight in Smash 4.
Yeah,
it does
but-
make sense because that was one of the prominent systems that Shovel Knight came on.
And then, but it's also like that new Shovel Knight DLC came out on like premiered first on Switch. Like I could
Yeah.
see it. I could see them looking for new characters and thinking that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they do have a license with Warner Brothers. They could bring in Batman.
Shut up, Thel.
Spyro and Smash. Spyro would be pretty cool.
Oh
but
yes,
unfortunately,
Spyro.
I'm about 100% certain that it would be the Skylanders Spyro, which nobody really wants. So
they are remaking Spyro right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
So maybe a DLC character down the line when a insane trilogy for Spyro comes out, but
right.
Maybe Nintendo works with
Gudra
Blizzard,
Yoshi skin.
Satan from Diablo.
What?
Maybe if Blizzard works with Blizzard and Nintendo work together, we could get Satan from Diablo.
No,
They are putting Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 on Switch, so.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Oh, there's been rumors of that. It has been confirmed.
If Blizzard is working with Nintendo, you know they're not gonna put Diablo in the game. They're gonna put
Thrall.
Thrall.
They're gonna
from
put
World of
they're gonna
Warcraft.
put Necromancer.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So I think that's about all we have to say about Smash, right?
Yeah, we spent 45 minutes just speculating on Smash characters. You know, like you do when a Smash game is announced.
It's been like 20 minutes.
I hope that Mario comes back.
No, I don't see them adding Mario
Yeah,
to
I
Smash.
don't
That just
Yeah, I mean, he did have a new game out, but it's not one of their big guys.
that's
not one
just
of their big
unreasonable that they would have
Yeah,
Mario.
He
like-
Come
doesn't
on.
really have a prominent.
I mean, that's like
prominent
assuming that
properties.
who was it? Like Captain Falcon comes or like Fox. It's
Yeah. You know what? I actually would kind of. This would piss so many people off. But what if they just didn't have Fox in Smash?
It would piss more people off.
That's-
No Jigglypuff.
That I could see.
I don't think that would piss many people off because
It would piss me
Jigglypuff,
off.
ever since Melee, Jigglypuff has been like bottom tier.
Jigglypuff
Yeah,
is
fair enough.
fucking OP.
Whoa, hey, that's not necessarily true. Ever since Super Smash Brothers on the N64, Jigglypuff has been bottom tier.
No, Super on Melee, Jigglypuff was pretty high actually.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Alright, I see what you're saying.
Melee HD.
I don't
for
think they would do a Melee HD, and if they did, everyone would hate it because they would put it in the new engine and you wouldn't be able to wave dash. So like
Yeah,
it would
you
defeat the purpose.
You wouldn't be able to pull. You would actively
Super.
not be able. They would like, you know Melee and how all that stuff you like. That's
Yeah,
what we
so
say,
like maybe like
motherfuckers.
virtual
Piece of shit.
console
Fuck you.
Melee, maybe. I could not see them doing HD.
Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Switch, Project M.
Yeah, right.
Now featuring Guinness beer.
now featuring Homer Simpson.
Now featuring whoever the fuck they want to add this week and remove them later.
No, oh yeah, no, just Melee remastered. New final smashes added to Melee. More items.
You can't turn off Smash Balls this time.
More maps. No final destination. Story mode removed.
The 4D chess mode is to release Project Melee for the Switch.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to make a joke like play as Master Hand, but you could do that in fucking like Brawl, I think. I'm pretty sure he was a
don't know
character
if
in
you-
Brawl.
I don't
No,
remember
no,
that.
he was not a character in Brawl. I think there was a mode where you could like play. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
think
think-
that was like a weird.
Master Hand is a Project M character actually. Like legitimately, he is. So or was Project M is that project that changes Melee that they just add and remove characters up and down. Yeah, no, I know. I've seen footage of somebody playing Project M as
Someone in
Master
chat
Hand.
is just yelling at Dalsson.
I know. I've seen footage in Project M. Maybe it's just a bunch of different mods for Project M or something, but they add ridiculous characters. I've seen gameplay footage of Goku in Project M.
Can we please
seen-
just move on?
What are we moving on to though?
Move
what's
on to the
coming
end
out
of the
this week?
podcast.
What's going on this week? My Yume Nikki video is up on the YouTube right now.
Yeah,
Just
Yume
ready in
Nikki is
a
out
second.
right now.
Yeah, you can go watch. It.
There is a new Little Nightmares video coming out.
I didn't upload one this week because I forgot because
Oh.
I was working on the Yume Nikki video.
Oh crap! Oops.
Yeah,
oh well.
yeah, it was my fault. I
We
screwed
will
up the
put.
grades.
We'll make sure to put one out this week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What else? I think that's it. I don't think we have much else going on.
Yeah, we don't have a whole
Yeah.
lot coming out.
Yeah. We got a
Yeah.
Our
little
Twitch
lineup
stream,
for
we're
this
probably going to play Vermintide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
Divinity?
we'll probably do some sort of video for Vermintide, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
I would like to anyway. Maybe we'll actually make a review. Who knows?
Yay!
Keep watching and find out.
Yeah.
I think that's it for this week. Be sure to follow us on follow our curator on Steam.
Yes.
Do that, please. We have no one following us. I actually don't even know how to link that. I'll put a link in the description of the YouTube thing. I'll figure it out.
You'll find a way.
Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you can receive the notifications whenever we upload a new video.
You know, I heard that the reason why people ask you to do that is because a lot of people don't know the difference between the home page of YouTube and the subscribe page of YouTube.
You're kidding.
That is actually the reason. Like,
Yeah.
they're like people who have not been using YouTube forever, like us, don't know that the subscribe page exists.
Everybody has been using YouTube forever. Who hasn't? Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I do not understand.
I'm
Like
talking
a
about like the
2-year-old?
10-year-old Minecraft people don't know that.
Uh,
No offense to 10-year-old Minecraft people. I'm just saying. That surprisingly a lot. Like, I was reading a big long thing about this.
Don't
like,
say all the words that we say in this podcast to your
yeah, they're
mom.
bad.
the
We use bad
subscription feed.
words.
The subscription feed like actually does show everything, but the home screen doesn't, and people use the two apparently. It sounds crazy, but that's like why.
But that's fucking Google's plan, though.
Okay, well, if you don't know what your subscription feed is, please do hit the bell next to that subscribe button.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
yeah.
So anyway.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Oh, and here is our. I'm just gonna drop our Steam group into. Is this
The Twitch chat.
Yeah. Is this not even? This is. I hope it's not private. There we go. So if you would like to follow, if you would like to follow us on Steam and hang out and be around us, there's the link for that.
I mean, if you don't, I can understand, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing I'm considering. I don't know if I like really am going to go through with this yet or not, but I think we should make a Graveyard Media Discord for my my Twitch subscribers and stuff like that, and really
can do
anybody
that.
who wants to be in it. It's just a big Discord chat room that might be fun.
We will have plans for that coming out soon.
Right.
Right. If anybody, okay, that should be it for this week. We will see you guys next week, and thanks for joining us. And always remember,
Stay beautiful.
yes.